Yo, what is up, everybody? This is your host, Supersight, and welcome back to another stream. I sound like me 2017 doing a hater video. So anyway, I do have a new mic since the last time that I streamed. I'd been intending to do a Everdale stream, and I'm going to do a Battleland stream tomorrow. I was going to do an Everdale stream, but I haven't, so I haven't streamed since this is the first stream of 2022. And anyway, I've been doing some reflecting, some thoughts on the YouTube ban. Not much. I don't even know if I should do this stream because I still haven't really thought through it enough. I haven't really got over it. I'm still in it or whatnot. Well, it still feels like I'm in it. Oh, we got one on Facebook. So anyway, this is I just spontaneously decided to do it. I thought I could do a video. I could do it on a stream, but I thought I'll do it on a stream because I want to syndicate it on all these different platforms. Just realized I did it incorrectly on YouTube, so I'll just switch it back because I created an event on YouTube and then I haven't edited it. So hey, the Gaming Snowman, welcome to the stream. I'll just fix that right now because what do we got? I mean, I've only basically got a thumbnail for it, so we come over here, and we got this here, which was supposed to be the one, but what I've ended up doing is going to, if we go to stream, it should then have manage, and there should be this new one that's just started, which, will have the thoughts on it, but then I will delete this one. Thank you for the person that liked it, but yeah, I'll get rid of that one there. I didn't have a description or anything. It was just nothing really. And then I'll just sort of talk about it a little bit. I don't know. There's just a lot of different things. Oh, I thought I exited the thumbnails. Well, we've got that. Anyway, I'll exit that. Thank you for the person that gave it a like. Oh, it's a viewer waiting. Sorry, viewer waiting. Please go to the other one. We'll get there. Feels a bit weird talking like this actually through this mic. It's different in that. It's a good mic, but it's different. Like the last one, you sounded a lot less quiet. I don't know, the ear things maybe were more tight or whatever. So yeah, anyway, we'll delete that one. So that one will be gone, and then this one's called the same thing. Oh, it's got all the welcome to my channel. Oh, it's all that kind of stuff there. Okay, and then I'll just turn the monetization on, and we'll just do another few things to it. Okay, so I'll do that. Oh wow, a few of you here. Call me V. Welcome to the stream. There we go. 6 subs off 9k. Well done, the Gaming Snowman. Nice seeing you after a whole month. I'm back indeed. Well, yeah, we'll see you again. Espresso, welcome to the stream. Drama, welcome to the stream. Prince Tallow, welcome to the stream. Great to see you all here. I will just get this stream sorted. Okay, I'll get rid of that. Yeah, and we will. What we do, we'll just add in a thumbnail. Will we already even put the thumbnails there? Boom. So we will do that and do that there. Thoughts. Boom. Just simple thumbnail. Kind of sad about the ban happening, yeah. Indeed it was. Blushy, welcome back. But yeah, well, you as and you're welcoming me back. Hello. Okay. So, what are we going to do? Just organize myself. It's a bit distracting actually. With the chat, I just have to ignore it. But at the same time, it's good to have you in the chat. It's just like as in if I'm going to talk about the other stuff. So there we go. We got the string going now. So anyway, yeah, I got it. Yeah, some of you will know I was banned in June 2020. Unexpectedly, a month before. There's just, I don't know. It's really hard actually looking back. I was looking back today, and I was like, all this history and looking back, and then I was looking at that video there on the different platforms, which is still on Vimeo because I did an experiment in like January, uploading it to a few of them. Channel dashboard. Yeah, this is it here, the classic one. Still copyright claims, still an issue. I still see the nonsense going on YouTube. I don't think it's changed. I think it's just getting worse, and it's a shame, really. It's a shame. It's a shame. Video hosting. There's all these different Rumble. I added Rumble in that. All the different platforms in that. Rumble's doing alright, but it's still got a hang of a long way to go in order to compete with YouTube and that. So we'll see how Rumble goes. And yeah, no, I shouldn't have done it as a stream. Anyway, this year was the experiment I did, and looking at the different ones. So I checked out all these different platforms, and to see which ones work and which ones don't, and that. So the green ones worked, and then the yellow ones, and then I put the issue like that one wouldn't accept my phone number, and that one didn't allow my video to be uploaded. Had worked, and then yeah, anyway, that was the reasoning for all the different ones, which ones worked and which ones didn't. Classic Rumble and that, Rumble really needs to do a lot more, a lot better than what it's doing, because it's just not like, so this is the content I do upload to Rumble and that, but it's just not really, like, if you go to account overview and that, I still get I get no earnings despite having multiple videos that are monetized. And for the stats, it's like when the default stats one that you click on, there's just no stats. It's just all zeros. And it's like, if Rumble wants to be a serious competitor, they need to be way more clear on, a serious competitor to YouTube on, what they need to be way more clear on how do you start getting money, what's the path to monetization, etc., and having far more better stats and all that. Like, YouTube's incredibly comprehensive and helpful and interesting in that for the stats and that, whereas this is just like, well, what is this? What if we go to views? It doesn't even do anything. It's just, I don't know, I just think it's really poor. And then there we go, so last, and it's on views, and it still just shows nothing. It might be something like combination. Oh, there we go, there's some stats. Earnings, still nothing. I don't know why I'm not earning anything despite having multiple videos monetized. Like, are there ads on those videos? Why am I not getting monetized? But yeah, they could do a lot better in that. So this is the dashboard. We got all the, well, we should have all of them going. Yeah, there we go, the online. So yeah, I don't know, I should have just done it as a video and that. Now I feel like I'm just not even going to do it how it's. So anyway, some of you'll know and that I got banned. It was about the 8th or 9th of June 2020. Now, so I was thinking today, I was like, what was it leading up to that? What was happening in that? Like, and there's so many factors in that, and I don't know, my life is just complex, and like how it is now versus how it is then, and because I was thinking, like, what was leading up to that? And I remember, and so I was looking through old videos and that on my channel, and to think what it was like. So this here, there's just a few videos that I've been watching and that, and these ones here. I was watching. I was thinking about H3. I was watching him yesterday, and watching this guy here, PewDiePie. There we go. So H3H3. So PewDiePie and H3H3, and I mean, I hadn't watched all of these ones. Like, I watched that like a year ago, but didn't watch recently, and watched that one. I just clicked on it and then just moved on. But yeah, as I was watching, I was remembering back. I was just the other day, and then there was also a Finland vlog I watched of me walking around in Finland, and it was just like hard to watch, just how time changes, how things were. I mean, I was just so enthusiastic as a YouTuber. I just so wanted to become a YouTuber, especially a Supercell one, especially because like I'd played their games since 2012 or 2013 when I first got Heyday, and then I got Clash Clans not long after and played that for years and years. Played Boom Beach for a bit, played Clash Royale for a year, and I was just so enthusiastic. I so wanted to make it happen, and that I remember in 2017 thinking it all through. Like in 2016, I walked through forests and that on tramps, and I'd be thinking all about my video ideas and how I was going to do it, and all that kind of stuff. And it was just so massive, and it's just unconveyable. I mean, if someone like sat down next to me and I just told them the whole story and that, it would be possible to convey, but it would take so long, like so long. Like, I would say at minimum tens of hours, probably hundreds of hours to properly fully convey the extent. I don't know. I guess, like, I mean, 90 hours and 90 hours. I reckon in 90 hours you can do it in that. And then that seems doable in that. I don't know. Anyway, it would take, but most people, like most given relationships, like to actually be intimately talking, like in-depthly talking, like, because you see lots of people like every week or whatnot for an hour and that, but that's very minimal. Like, often it's not just a one-on-one. It's like a group of people, and the amount of time you actually are in depth talking with them, not just small talk, but actually in depth, is very small. And there'd be very few people in life, very few actually, that I've actually comprehensively, in depthly talked to for 90 hours or 100 hours or whatnot, assuming that's how long it would take to really convey not just like the extent in which I wanted to become a YouTuber, but just like my whole YouTubing story. Not like on this day I uploaded this video and it took this long to record, but not that. But then not just the ultra, not just yeah, so like not that, but not just like an incredibly broad generic overview. Like I started on this date and then I did this much, and then like sort of a in between where it's not like you're not just individually laying out every single video. I've done over 1,000. I can't even remember. If someone said write a list of all the videos you've done, I probably couldn't even remember 10% of them, to be fair. Maybe I could remember 10%. I'm not sure. That'd be 100, because I did over 1,000 videos in that. And yeah, so the ban has affected me. It's still affecting me to this day. Just the fact I was banned, how the ban was handled, how YouTube treated me, and how other groups treated me in that. And I mean, I know that this video then might give satisfaction to the haters that got me banned, or I mean, it would, yeah. But I don't even really care. It's just like yeah. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, but it's so hard to convey something thoroughly in that, and just like it's just so hard. Yeah, like Stalin's quote, "One death is a tragedy, a million is a statistic," and it sort of is the idea of that it's just you can't. It just becomes meaningless in that when there's so much and so many things in that, so many factors or so many. It's just I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't even. Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud here, as you can clearly tell. It's just very, very hard to thoroughly, properly convey something, and for someone to be able to account for all the different factors in that. I mean, it's just even issues in life in that. There's just some of them. There's just so many factors, like political issues in that it's like, how do you even like weigh them all up, like to fully, thoroughly just go down every track? It's just like, oh, like you think, oh, this here sounds like a good argument, and then you hear, and then the person that poses that will say, well, how did you factor in this? And then you're like, well, yeah, but I value it this. They're like, well, I think it's valued this, and then that's it's just debate in itself. But yeah, thinking back, it's just like think that like watching like just the world, like just this YouTube and that, and just the world itself in 2017, 2016 was so different. Like it's just so different in that. So different for me and for the world. I mean, obviously there's the massive thing of the whole lockdown situation, virus situation, pandemic situation. That's obviously massive, that came along in 2020 and 2021 and still here in 2022. But even not even just excluding that, which is massive, there's still been a huge change in that, a massive change in terms of how like Twitter and that. And although it's like, yeah, well, Twitter's just, that's not everyone. True, but it is a good indicator, it is a good reflection of how people are acting, how people are thinking in that. And the level of radicalness on Twitter and just the cancel culture, it's just like just extreme and unprecedented, and just, yeah, it's just, and for years, like 2017 and 2018, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to get cancelled. I want to be, appease people and not say anything and all that. And that actually, that I paid a price for doing that, and I wish I hadn't done it. Like when there was the whole thing about YouTube Rewind being terrible in 2018, I was so afraid to even comment a criticism of YouTube. And even though heaps of people were doing that, I was like, well, YouTube may well just hold this against me and shadow ban my channel, or blacklist my channel, or derank my channel in that. So I didn't, even though I totally was for all that absolute criticism in 2018, December 2018, when YouTube did the rewind, which I thought was a bad rewind, and yeah, and I was fully on board with that, but I didn't even say anything. I totally should have. I might have even featured not Leafy's video and PewDiePie's video, which then scrolled through. Let's see what the comments actually say. I mean, there's just so many things about YouTube. Just the list just keeps growing. Like the recent thing, removing the dislike button, and it's like, oh well, it's because we want to protect small creators and that. that's what they say in there. But I was thinking about that, and I'm like, people have the option to turn off the like counter, the dislike counter. They can turn it off so people can't. So other people can't see it in that. People can just turn that off, and then they're saying, oh well, it won't work if people can't see it in that or whatnot, like the targeted dislike campaigns and that. Which as of all the things that I heard people having issue about and complain about on YouTube, I don't think I literally ever recall coming across a single person that was saying that, not in person and not that ever chatted to me, that told me that, oh well, it's the dislike people, just this dislike target mob, and that obviously there was some big YouTubers in that then had like people giving dislikes on their videos, and that like, the different commentary channels and that would battle a bit, and there's a couple of people I can't really remember. I mean, James Charles obviously got dislikes. Who else was there? I mean, probably Leafy did, probably H3 did, and different commentary channels would have for a bit in that. And I mean, a lot of them were dishing out all sorts of like ripping into other channels, so it sort of was just part of the gig that then, oh well, let's just dislike this person or whatnot, like disliking each other and that. But actually, like a targeted dislike, like people being like specifically targeted, like just it was I think, well, I do remember hearing some stories about it, but that was, but even it was just incredibly rare to happen. And I mean, I hadn't heard of it in like the last 2 years. I hadn't heard of it happening in that. And those channels could turn off the dislike button. They could, the like and dislike button anyway. So I just think that was, I don't believe the reasoning that, oh well, it's to stop that. It's like, I really don't think that of all the problems on YouTube, that was a really minor problem. And there was already a solution in that problem. People could just turn off the like and dislike counter and that. So it was like, yeah. So there's all these different things in that have been happening that, on that. But even just the global scale, just the world and how people are has radically changed, I think, from 2016 to 2021. I'll just refer to 21 because I know it's 2022, but it's sort of like that was the recent year that we've just been in. And looking back at times like this was actually a re-upload, so PewDiePie must have deleted that. I clicked on it and I'm like, oh, wait a second, this hasn't got many views. Oh, this like must be a re-upload. So yeah, looking back, and it's like, man, times were different in that. I had so much hope to be a YouTuber in that. Like, I was just so enthusiastic in that. And look, like, man, it's just, I find it really hard, and it still affects me to this day. Just like the ban and the effect. I mean, there was just, there was so many negatives of it. There was also some positives in that. Like, the positive was I realized how super dependent I was, like, putting my value in YouTubing and that, like, oh well, if I'm a successful YouTuber, that means that I'm a successful person, and that's what I just had, and that was wrong to think that. Well, no, obviously, yeah, you are still successful in that, but as in, I was like putting my value in the, like, how many views I got. So if not like on a day-to-day, like, oh, we only got 1,000 today, and yesterday we got 2,000, so I'm half as worthy today. Not like that, but as in like if I do really well at YouTube, that means I'm a great person. And then, but that's totally wrong. That's totally wrong. And so that was a really healthy realization that actually I was so dependent on YouTube and having like my faith on YouTube and all that. And that was wrong. And that was very bad and unhealthy. And so I'm very glad that I realized that and have then come to be okay with, like, I just realized that's not the case. I mean, because I remember, like, when it happened, when I got banned, I was, like, terribly upset. And, I mean, I could have recorded a video, like, and the emotional videos are, like, very effective. Like, there was a guy, a Lego dude that, like, loved his Lego, like, Republic Attack or something was his name, and he got burgled and did a very emotional video on it, which, and I think because of that, because people were very reactive to emotion, I think that was a huge success. And then he had a fundraiser, and then the Lego was bought back for him, which was great. And yeah, but it's like the emotion, I mean, because I was listening to Dennis Prague did a video the other day. Fireside Chat was like a month ago, but I watched it like a couple of days ago, and he said people are more persuaded by emotions than facts. And I didn't realize that. That just clicked. I'm like, that is true, and that is insane. But that's the reality of things in that. Anyway, I should have done an emotional video. Well, I don't know. Like, as in not intentionally emotional. It's not like you put on a show. Like, it's genuinely, legitimately, insanely, like, upset. Like, when my channel's gone, like, what has just happened in that? I was just so in shock. Anyway, I didn't do a video on that, but yeah, I could have, and that maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have. Well, I mean, I could have recorded it whether I released it or not. I mean, I don't know. There's just so much content I've made. I'll just never end up watching back most of it, and most people don't find most of my content interesting. Like in terms of like my talking and that of just different topics and that throughout streams. But yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. I've just going thought here, thought everywhere and that. But like looking back at this video, I remember watching it 5 years ago. I commented on his video, and it was just like this. Like it was a really good video. It was a really interesting video, and I literally, yeah, it was just so interesting to watch. It's like, man, like that was same with this one. I watched this one just today. I watched that one last night. That one last night and that one today. Oh no, I watched both of them today. Oh, what? No. No, I watched them. I watched both of them last night. Yeah, both of them last night, man. It was just such a different world back then. It was just so different. I just opened up this one here.
Building a
I commented on it. Did I? Great video, yeah. It was just really, it's just the world was so different back then. It was so, oh, there's my stream. 6 watching, yo! Yeah, so there's that. But my channel then getting banned and that, and then, so the negatives of it, so the positive was realizing that, and then having more time to do other stuff. The negative is that the loss of income, which was huge. Losing all that was very detrimental, because I wasn't making heaps on it. I've shown my stats before. I'll show them again probably later this stream. But it wasn't nothing. It wasn't insignificant either. It was something. I mean, I'm starting to earn a little bit of revenue, but since I got unbanned, but it's way less than what it was. My channel, like, because I literally was getting 10-20,000 views a day, and then there was and then ban and that, and then unban, and then I was just like so much less. Like it was just under 1,000 every day. So it was like a 10 to 20 times drop, like a 90% plus drop in views, which was absolutely huge. And the videos that I'd done in that time that I've been banned, people had made similar videos, and then those ones now show up first, and my ones don't get viewed. So, and that's really hard. That is really, 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 really hard having that happen. And it's sort of like, it's just so wrong. Like, because like leading up to it and that, someone threatened me and said, I'm going to ban your channel in 1 month's time. They said in 1 month's time your channel's going to get banned. And so I asked someone in that, and they said, "Oh, nah, don't worry, it won't actually be legit." And that I was still concerned. I contacted YouTube and that. I contacted YouTube so many, like, because they would ban my streams. They would like violating they just shut them down. They just shut down my streams and just say this is violated terms of service and that. And then I'd appeal it and say, well, no, it hasn't. And it was so stupid in that. And like I was just really like it. I was watching it earlier and it's just ridiculous. What like this? I've literally still got a video on my channel that was demonetized in August 2019, and it's now 2022. 2022. This video was demonetized in 2019, and I requested a review on it to see, because they said, "Oh no, it's not suitable for advertisers." This was a live streaming that, so I was live streaming that. They demonetized it. I requested a review. I said, "This is suitable for advertisers." Like saying yes, it is suitable for advertisers. Please review it. And they say we normally review it in a week. It is now 2022. 3 years later, since it was August 2019. It's 2 years. It's two years and a few months later. 2 years and a few months later. And it is still under review. Now, and I doubt it will ever, I don't think they'll ever actually, although maybe they'll see, I don't think they'll see the stream, but if they did, then maybe they'll just, like, decline it or approve it. It doesn't matter anymore in the sense that the stream isn't even viewable because it only allows 12 hours worth of content in that. But it also does matter in the sense that I don't want my channel to be filled with demonetized things because, I'm concerned that then reflects on the algorithm and that impacts the algorithm and that. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't in that. But it just doesn't seem good for if your channel is completely fine to then have all this demonetized. Oh, Supersite has all these unsuitable videos for advertisers and streams that are not suitable for advertisers when they're actually totally fine. But the YouTube algorithm's just messing up, so then makes it look like my channel has all these unsuitable for advertiser ones that aren't unsuitable for advertisers, but they've marked them as so. So because of that, that's then a bad reflection on my channel. But that's not an accurate reflection of my channel. And if that's impacting the algorithm, then that's terrible. I mean, I don't know if it is. If it's not, it's still like, well, what harm is it for YouTube to just approve it and just make it green? It's sorted in that, because it shouldn't be. It is suitable for advertisers, so it's incorrectly marked. So they can just fix that, even if it doesn't affect the algorithm. If it does, then that's utterly, absolutely terrible, because that's then wrecking my channel, even if it's just a little bit, which shouldn't be wrecking my channel just because they've taken over 2 years to review a stream. Now, again, because they demonetized it when it was live, and then I requested the review when it was live, and then not long later, I think I then stopped the stream, or it might have just cut out. I think it just cut out, and they still hadn't reviewed it, and then they still haven't reviewed it 2 years later. It's still pending review. Even though it said it normally takes about a week. And then they had the audacity when I emailed them about it. I emailed them about it saying, hey, this might have been like a year after. So, hey, this has been under review for a year or a few months or whatnot. Are you sure that it's still in your systems now? And you know what they said? They said, due to the ongoing pandemic, this is, and it's like, dude, that is not due to the flippin' pandemic. I requested it be reviewed back in August 2019, or like maybe the 1st of September 2019. And so you had the first week of September to review it, the second week of September to review it, the third week of September to review it, the fourth week of September to review it, and then the fifth, and then the first week of October to review it, the second week of October to review it, the third week of October to review it, the fourth week of October to review it, the first week of November to review it, the second week of November to review it, the third week of November to review it, the fourth week of November to review it, the first week of December to review it, the second week of December to review it, the third week of December to review it, and the fourth week of December to review it, and then it sort of was more like February, March that it really started getting big. And so they had weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to review it, despite saying it only takes a week to review it. They say it takes, on average or whatnot, it takes about a week or whatnot. So it'd already been months, it'd already been multiple weeks, like that's about 12 weeks or whatnot. And then they are saying, the reason why is because, actually it's because of the pandemic. That's why it's taking so long. It's like, that is just blatant lies. It is absolutely not true that it's the pandemic that's then slowing you down. It's like, that's slowing you down from reviewing this. Like, you literally had 12 weeks of not pandemic to review it. And then you're saying, it's the pandemic that's the problem. No, it's not. You had 12 weeks to review it. 12 flippin' weeks, and you didn't review it. I mean, obviously, I know this issue isn't even much of an issue in that, because I don't think it's, if it is affecting my channel, I don't think it would be massively affecting my channel in that. But it's an issue. It's been, for a company that's supposedly, theoretically improving itself and going better, it's like, yeah, I shouldn't have a demonetized video, incorrectly demonetized, that I requested a view on within like 48 hours of you demonetizing it, probably 24 hours, and literally 2 years later, over 2 years later, is still incorrectly marked as not suitable for advertisers. That is just stupid. That is just stupid. And so it's like, it's just utterly ridiculous in that. It's absolutely ridiculous. And there's just one thing out of huge amount of issues on YouTube in that. Like, there was a dude that had, there's just so many examples in that. Like, a dude that had, like, was live streaming a NASA event, had got all the rights to do it, and had paid like $1,000 to be streaming it, was streaming it all live, and then someone flipping copyright claimed it, and YouTube like acknowledged or agreed or sided with the person that copyright claimed it, ruining the person's stream that was streaming it and that, because like at the moment that's when you get like everyone watching and getting all your revenue back from doing it. And YouTube just was like allowed this stream to just be copyright, and I think it was then taken down or whatnot, or it's just insane. It is just insane. And there's just all sorts of different things that just like absolutely, utterly ridiculous in that. And it's not improving, it's not fixing that. And YouTube repeatedly, since going back since like 2017, they're like, we're working on the monetization thing, and if you accurately mark your videos, then we'll, going forward, then you'll get, better things. And I would accurately mark my video, which was this video is suitable for advertising. This video is suitable for this, and it's still. Then there was still demonetization. Then they'd say like in a year's time, like in 2018, oh well, you know, we're going to improve it. We're going to make sure it's not. These aren't going to persist. These issues in that. What do you know? It keeps happening. Copyright things still happening. Still happening. Like to this present day, I still get like, oh, not today because I don't get them every day. I don't get them like most given days, but they still happen like from like a stream from like 2 years ago or whatever. Just copyright claim. It's so annoying, and it shouldn't be happening, but it just keeps happening. That and these issues are not solved. Demonetization issues not solved. Copyright's not solved. This was just the mountain of. This is just there's so many things wrong with YouTube that they haven't fixed, and I just have lost total faith in YouTube. And then there's censorship stuff and just ridiculousness, and then streams of mine that the shadow ban. That's just a whole new story in that from where I was getting. But YouTube, yeah, I mean, YouTube is the one thing that hasn't changed since then. If any, well, it has a little bit. It's got worse in my opinion. And so anyway, that's a massive problem. But it's just crazy looking back to what the world was. It's just so different in that. It's just crazy different in that. Looking back to it, and I watched that one today, and these ones here I was watching, and it's sort of just seeing old me. It was like, wow, like the YouTube removed my stream for breaking TOS and that. It was just sort of crazy looking, and the Fortley videos, I remember covering all of them. I think that one actually featured in Leafy's video. Leafy is here, which is now banned. I do not think the world is getting better. I think it's getting worse, and it's not looking good. But yeah, and so that was not even what I was thinking about today. But looking back at my old videos, and I sort of so enthusiastic and all that.
A new income stream just by simply loading.
I get hurt all the time, so many times. And I mean, I've talked about it before, and it's like, if it's so profitable for you to be making all this money, you think that you'd then spend your time making more of that money versus telling everyone else how to do it. It's like, it's like, I'm just trying to think of an analogy in that. I can't think of an analogy, but it's like, if it's working so well, then why are you selling courses on how to do it? Why not just do it? It's, yeah, I highly am skeptical of these things. The 64 core thing that I was so enthusiastic.
What is up, everybody? This is your host Supersite, and welcome back to another video in which we'll be building a computer worth $1,400 US. Now note, this is only including the CPU.
A few comments, and then I remember watching that. So anyway, what I was thinking of is I was thinking about what was leading up. Oh, here's the stream and that. Surely there's more chat since then. Surely. Oh, whoa, there is. Oh, not heaps. Not heaps and heaps, but some. I wasn't banned again. But yeah, fair assumption. Jack B, welcome to the stream. Just finished editing a video, working on the thumbnail. There we go, boom, boom. Get what you mean. To a little smaller. How are you banned again? I wasn't banned again. Award for annoying. They should, yes. But it's just so, like, it's just YouTube is so big now. They're just so big. Bots. Oh, I see, yeah. Bot is gone. Oh, thank you, Lockdot, and welcome to the stream. Daniel Bishop, yo, welcome to the stream also. Ah, these bots. Okay, there we go. Normally gets remonetized within a day or so. Yeah, yes, yeah, they normally, and that is the case for me as well in that, but not always. Forgot about your video. But when I emailed them, their response was, oh, well, it's the pandemic is the problem, and they said, no, we haven't forgotten about it, it's still in the system, and, well, it's still in the system another year later. Like, it's been over 2 years. Where was I? Yeah, there's a lot of people, there's 2 people in my life that actually, aspiring YouTubers and that, but yeah, I just don't see YouTube being a good future place to do. It's just more and more eggshell territory. It's just like, and so that's why I was so happy. And that's why, so back in the day, I was like, oh no, you know, through 2017 and 2020 and all that, I'm like, oh no, don't want to get cancelled, don't want to. But now I've just had a change in tune in like 2021. I'm like, screw it. Like, I've already been banned. My channel's already wrecked. And I'm just gonna be more myself in that. And it does, yeah. If I just get banned again, I mean, I don't want to get banned again. And I mean, it'd just be a nonsense reason if they ban me again. they're just, yeah. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be more myself. Obviously, there's certain like topics I don't talk about, like in my streams, like political stuff. I avoid in that, but I talk about like Peterson and that. I find him really interesting, and I think he's got a lot of interesting thoughts in that. And so I just sort of talk about interesting thoughts of his in that. But yeah, there's a lot of it's. I think that's a much better. But you look at you look at people on Twitter that are like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna be more myself. It's just like it links into the whole issue of autism as well, and that like people are like, oh no, just be yourself, be yourself. That's who you should be. You just gotta be yourself in that. It's like, how does that work out for people with autism? Not very flippant well. It's like if it's just like it just clearly does. It's just so obvious. It's just like, of course it doesn't work out well in that. Like them being themselves equals people don't like them, people reject them, people don't want to spend time with them, people don't want to talk with them, and it's sort of just like people like it's just. I mean, and obviously there's a limit in which you are yourself in that. Well, that's not obvious, but as in there is a limit in which you are yourself in of sorts in that. But like to just be a reasonably extent of saying what you think and etc. People hate it when you say what you think and that. Like you look at it's just like so stupid. It's like, okay, people are just like they just believe that it's just it's insane. Like they just like believe that they're on the side of people that are awesome. Oh no, you be yourself. You be yourself. It's like, okay, so how does that play out? So someone with autism is on Twitter and they're saying what they think. Oh, look, they just got banned in that. I mean, I'm sure many people with autism have been banned on Twitter and that, although it wouldn't be targeting autistic people explicitly. The trait of them being themselves and saying what they think, people don't want that. You look at Twitter, there's people that may or may not have autism that are getting banned all the time. High profile people, lots of people getting banned in that. It's like, so if these people, let's assume they have autism, do we want them to be themselves or not? Because we're saying, oh, be yourself. Oh, if you do though, we don't want to hear what you have to say. We're just going to ban you off Twitter and ban you off other platforms like YouTube or whatnot. We don't actually want, it's like, okay, so we don't actually want to hear what they say. We want people with autism to be quiet and suppress themselves and not actually say what they think. It's just a lie. People saying, oh no. We want, because obviously if you think, oh, but like you wouldn't think, oh, well, only if someone has autism, then they should express themselves and say what they think. But if they don't have autism, no, they shouldn't do that. Like because some people, it's like, well, it's like they're sort of on the edge of, well, do they have autism or not? And it's like if you have an autistic brother or whatnot. So there's two sons, one of them's autistic, one of them's not, but they're basically the same in what they believe and think and how they act, other than the fact that one of them's got autism, so then finds it hard to connect with people and hard to keep conversation going, etc., and foods that they don't like and that. So they're saying, so it's not like you'd say, oh well, no, for the person with autism, oh, you say what you think, you be what you are, but the other person, no, don't at all. Like it would be the same. So then you're saying like, oh, autistic person, you be yourself. You say what you think. You should feel comfortable you should feel comfortable to be yourself in that. And the reality is, people feeling comfortable and being themselves is going to then offend other people in that. That's the reality of things. That but it's like people don't actually want or believe that people with autism should say what they think and be able to express themselves by saying what they think and what they believe and talking in the way that they do. People don't actually believe that. If they did, then they wouldn't say like, oh, well, actually, if you make videos on YouTube saying what you think, well, you're banned. And that, regardless of whether they have autism or not. Because, lots of people getting banned, most of them don't have autism. Some of them would. And so, but it's just ridiculous. It's just people don't actually want people with autism to be who they are. They'd far rather that they just suppress themselves. They'd far rather that the person with autism believes exactly what they believe, but that's not going to happen. So then the next best option of let them say what they think and be who they are, believe what they believe, or let them say what they think and express themselves in that way, or ban them, and people be like, oh, well, he's got autism, but yeah, hey, let's just ban him and that. And I know that my ban on YouTube, it had nothing to do with YouTube. I don't know that, but I think it's incredibly likely that it had nothing to do with autism and that. But that's sort of just my point about this ban thing and that. It's and this ban thing is more like just freedom of expression and on Twitter and all that, and on YouTube and that. Twitter and YouTube. But although there's a heap of bans on YouTube, I don't hear of that many accidental bans on Twitter and that, versus on YouTube, there's people getting banned for all sorts of different reasons, including expressing themselves. But yeah, so there's all that. Man, there's just so many different things I could talk about. But yeah, so I didn't even know. I sort of forget where I was going and sort of talk for so long. Anyway, but yeah, it's so I'd love to. And so it's sort of like I so wanted to be a YouTuber. I so wanted it to work out. I wanted to do a Supercell games, and I just can't portray. I just can't. I wish I could. I wish I could. I wish I could. Same with feelings of that actually. I don't know. It's just because is it that people think that their feelings are superior, or they just don't account for or don't value the feelings of other people, in the sense that, for example, like people are just like, oh, I know. Well, if people say this, and this, well, you can't say that because it hurts these feelings and that. But then you could also, but then you're not accounting for, well, how much does someone not being allowed to say this, and this affect them in that? People don't account for that, and so they sort of just think, oh, well, no, well, this group of people's feelings, well, that's what matters, and they're the only people that could actually be offended or actually hurt in that. But it's like, I don't think people then account for, like, the other people's, because if you accounted for all people's feeling, well, you wouldn't. It wouldn't work, like, as in what you could, but like, as in, it's impossible to, like, it's just, unless there has to be a level of values that are similar in order to, it's just, yeah, because there's just so many but people just, like, it's like, I wish I could, like, get my feelings, like, just, like, for people that are so moved by feelings and that, which is actually most people, but it seems, versus, people that are moved by facts and reasoning and that. And so I wish that then it's like, okay, fine, if you just don't actually care about the facts and reasons or whatnot, here, have my feelings in that, and just feel them, experiencing them for a minute in that. And then if I mean, because then it's sort of linked, assuming that it then had, like, reasoning and thought in it as to why I wanted to do X, Y, and Z. But even if you just, like, the nonsense that YouTube, the utter just ongoing nonsense, like when I chat to them in the Google thing, they're called Google Chat or whatnot, and if you click this button here, and just the chat with creator support, it was the worst support I have ever. It's not support. It is not support. It is the worst I've ever experienced in my life. Like as a whole, like as of all companies I've ever dealt with, YouTube was the worst company I've ever dealt with in my entire life. And I'm not making that up. And I know it only goes that you can only say that about one company. And I truly mean it about YouTube. I truly mean it. It was the worst company I've ever dealt with in my life. That's how bad it was. It was so bad. But it's just, so I wish that I could, like, and it made me feel awful. Like, it's just like, I didn't even, like, my stream would just get, they just take down my stream. And I'm just like, I didn't even know what to do. It's like, do I message them? Do I have a just wasteful 1 hour message in that, like 1 hour conversation with them, in which probably nothing will get achieved? Or do I just think, oh well, that stream's gone? But then the thing was, there was this big threat, like, hanging over me of, well, what if this was before I got banned, what if they just end up banning me because I keep doing a similar stream that they banned or removed but didn't tell me to, even though I know that it was a fraudulent or a false removal. But then what do I do? And they weren't responding. And it's like the dumbest answers, which I've talked about before in that. Like, one of my streams got removed, and I hired these virtual private server. Oh, what that? No, I hired these computers from a company, which they're from another country, and then I was streaming from them in that. And anyway, one of my streams stopped in that, or it just wasn't on. And I was asking this person in support, because I told them the details of my account and all that. I was like, did you guys remove that, or did it just accidentally stop on my end? And they refused to confirm if they removed it. It's like, what the heck? Like, what the actual heck? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't know if you removed that, and if I do it again, you're going to remove it again, or slap me with a strike or something, and they wouldn't even tell me if it was them that removed it. Like, it is beyond, it's incomprehensible. I just wish I could, like, and I mean, I know I'm talking, and so you could somewhat get a feel, but I just wish I could just capture all that nonsense in one just minute of feeling, and it just, like, honestly, it would be so bad. It's like almost that feeling would just kill somebody. It would just be so much awfulness combined into 1 minute. It would just be, like, horrific to experience. Like, I didn't even know how that would theoretically work if you just compress, like, horrific, just awfulness of like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and then compress it all into 1 minute. I don't even know how that would then, like, if you then, like, it would then double the pain, but then it was, but then you can't, if there's a certain, in real life, you had a certain level of pain that, like, then you'd just die at. Like, you couldn't just experience infinite upscaling pain. Like, it wouldn't work like that. I don't know. But anyway, it was really bad. And so, but I wish I could just get you to feel that and understand that, because it's like, I can't describe it, and I'm not very good at provoking emotion in that, is that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to say things as I believe they are, and then the facts change your mind in that. But that doesn't seem to work on most people. But I don't do the emotional thing. Like, I don't try and provoke emotion, because that was not my intent. It wasn't my intent, and it just seems like a wrong way to. It seems a wrong way to do it, because it's like, I want you to actually be convinced by facts and reality, not just like me just pushing you on this emotional thing, which you could just, I don't know. Because the thing is, if you convince someone with facts, then it's like, oh, it's actually worked. Whereas the emotional thing, and people can just abuse that, and people do abuse it all the time, and just like convince people emotionally by just abusing it. It's like, and I just like, no, it's like, it's the better way to win someone over is to convince them, like, through conversation, through facts, through reality, not just like this provoking emotion, because like, that's just dumb. That's just like such a weak way to win. It's just like just exploiting someone, basically. I mean, if you convince, I don't know. Like, if you're convincing someone of a true fact, then you just try and provoke. I mean, I guess if you could talk in their language, and that's sort of almost what I feel like. Well, if I could just use my emotion in that, which is then based on truth and reality, and then just use that, and then if they got convinced by that, it's like, well, sure, if that's how you do it. But I hate using that method, because it's so open to exploitation and abuse. Because, well, people can fake emotion. Well, people fake emotions all the time, or fake. It's just so. I just don't like. I'm very against this emotion-based, feelings-based decision-making process. I think it's really bad for society. And so it's like, I don't even want to use it. But then the other method of just telling people doesn't work, because they're so wound up in emotions. I'm clearly going all over the show with this stream about a whole heap of different topics, which wasn't actually what I had planned. That I had planned, but it doesn't. Yeah. So anyway, I would love to sort of do this. So I had this huge goal, and it's just like, it's sort of still in me. Like, it's still, even now. Like, I was thinking today, I'm like, I should start up game review again. I'd love to do game review again. I'd love to do like either 1, 2, 3, or 4 videos. I just record for 15 minutes a day, and then I thought, well, I'm not just going to upload them to YouTube, if I even did upload them to YouTube, but I'd upload them to, well, Rumble and that. And I thought, well, I might as well upload them to all of these things on the list and that, like all of the green ones that it works, because you want to increase your reach as much as possible. But really, at that point, I should just hire someone to do it. But like, because like, to upload the video to all of the green ones, or every single possible one they could, just expand my reach and expand my capacity. So I'd just be doing these game reviews, and then upload them, so that then I add in the title, add in the thumbnail, and I already have the pattern, in which you guys, some of you already know it. If we go to comments, it will have it. This pattern of, like, they look so cool. I'll just exit that, because I responded to a couple of them today. Pardon me, this sort of pattern. So it'd just be like the color scheme, and then just the thumbnail, and then the title was sort of like the name of the game, and then like the company of the game, and then game in it plus the description. I used formats within and so people would then could just do that, or I could just quickly do the thumbnails, and then they just go through and upload them all, and so that would be kind of helpful, because I want I don't know, but then it's like, I don't know, because trying to increase my reach on all the different platforms and that, because some people have hire people in that, but it would be so unprofitable at my level, because the videos would make virtually no money. Even just me doing YouTube was very unprofitable in that. Like, a 12-hour stream and get 77 cents. I think I got one super chat on that stream, which was maybe $5 in that, but it was like 77 cents or whatnot in terms of ad revenue. And if it wasn't for the super chat, I think I would have lost money on that stream, because it probably would have cost over more than 77 cents of power to stream for 12 hours. And then that's 12 hours worth of if that's what you're trying to make money on, 12 hours worth of not working in real life, which you could have got like $20, that would have been $240. So it's like, there's this whole profitable thing of YouTube as well with its but yeah, and so I would love to, I could then start it again on all these different platforms and start releasing them again. And yeah, so because then there's all these people, like there's a study that came out, it was a real interesting study, and it was how the top 4% of YouTubers get 90% of the views, which is huge, and the views is where the revenue's at. So that's absolutely massive. That's monstrous, the top 4%. And it's just sort of like the top YouTube, it's just going to continue like that because the big ones are so big now that if there's like a new popular game that come out, they'll just switch to that game because the sort of like, it used to be sort of you'd find your game and you get really big. Like kind of like Galadon's gotten that. But even Galadon, I'd say he's definitely sort of, he keeps trying new games and that. And it's sort of like, I feel like he's still looking to try and find, like, you know, very loyal and stuck with Clash Clans and that. And it's worked out incredibly well for him. But he's still looking for new games, I feel like, and new connections because but there's like people and it's sort of just big channels and they sort of cover it, like they get popular by a game, but then in the past like every new game would bring a whole slew of new YouTubers in that, but now I feel like there would be less and less and less of that because games that become real popular, the already massive YouTubers that sort of, it used to be sort of, you're known for covering, in my opinion, for like 1 or 2 games and whatnot, like that was you in that, but well, mainly just one game, but now it's sort of YouTubers have branched out and they do a whole heap of games, and so then it's like it's sort of solidifying those top channels in that as like just continually just hugely growing. I mean, because he's like Watch Mojo, and they just like keep pumping out like, well, when I last checked, they're pumping out like 4 videos. I checked like 2 years ago. They're pumping out like 4 videos a day, and just absolutely massive in that. And they do top 10 lists. Mojo Watch. They're just absolutely, like, it's just like a whole team of people I read on the Wikipedia. And yeah, like every few out, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, it's like, this is like kind of just like, it's not even YouTube anymore. Like it was like, we know it, like back in the day. It's just like, just monsters worth of character. It's just insane. Like, they just got a massive team of people just pumping out stuff and that. Kind of like T-Series as well, just like a massive network of, I don't know how much they, I don't know how much they pump out. 1 hour, 5 hour, yeah, one day. Yeah, so they're just like pumping. I mean, I was pumping out a lot of content in that as well, to be fair. But that was all me doing that. Whereas it's just massive content, and so, but it's then very hard for new ones to grow, because as soon as a game gets popular, the massive YouTubers just switch to that, and then their audience just watches them because they're so used to them, versus like, oh, a new YouTuber. And this is sort of the time dilemma, in the sense that there's people only have a certain amount of time, and I'm already subscribed to, I think, 200 YouTubers in that, and even, you know, it's only a limited amount of time in that, and so as new games come out, you then, I mean, and there's all these new YouTubers in that, there's not enough room. There's just, the mathematics doesn't work. Same with, like, YouTube only made, well, I think paid out $15 billion to creators, which sounds like a huge amount, but if you divide that by, like, the 30 million YouTube channels there are, I think as defined by the study, or they have like a few videos that are, that's how many are on Social Blade, I think 30 million. That was like a year or two ago. It's not actually that much in that, so there's just not enough room, because to just keep, like, there's just not infinite growth in terms of infinite people can keep becoming YouTubers. There is a limit. And I saw Elon Musk tweeted just today, like, oh, it's incredible how 80% plus of the world has smartphones, which I thought's insane, like 80% of the world, but that means there's not actually that much more room for growth, assuming that those smartphones are connected to the internet and have YouTube, not of all which are, but a lot of them would be. And so you sort of had a capacity where it's like, there's only so many watch hours that can be done each day by people in that. And if anything, I'd say that most people, not necessarily, I'd say, well, I don't know, heaps of people on YouTube, a large percentage, is already excessively watching YouTube. And if they're living a healthy lifestyle, they'll be watching less YouTube in that. And so it's sort of like, there's just no more room for growth. There's no more room for more and more YouTubers. The only way that more YouTubers can come is if people then stop watching the old YouTubers. But the old YouTubers will hate that, and they'll do everything possible to fight that and to keep the new ones. And it's also then, it's just become, well, it's very unpleasant if you are, you know, old. It doesn't often happen that way, but but you know, it's not very pleasant. It's an old YouTuber where you just keep like, well, who was it, like Hannah Gabby or whatnot? I'm not sure, but like you sort of lose your audience because they just go to other people, and it's very unpleasant, especially because so many people dishonestly say, oh, I'm your biggest fan, I watch all your videos, I'll always be there and that or whatnot. I don't know if I've seen anyone say I'll always be there, but that sort of vibe in that. And I mean, some people legitimately have watched every video, but the vast majority of people haven't, and the vast majority of people saying that haven't. And so I think it's very dishonest, and then you just get this illusion, which I found out when all these people are like, spoil you, and all that, and then suddenly, like, I'd stream, and then I'd have, like, less than 10 viewers there, and it's like, compared to all the people that said I'm your biggest fan, or I watch all your videos, it's like, that's totally wrong. So, and it's really hard when you sort of lose your audience in that, and yeah, but people sort of live in this make-believe world that there's like infinite room, or just heaps more room for just more and more YouTubers. It's just everyone can be a YouTuber. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. That you can't just have all these existing YouTubers stay in business as YouTubers making enough money, and then all these new YouTubers just keep coming out. Obviously, some will make it in that. Like what's Billie Eilish, yes, but Olivia Rodrigo. Obviously, even in the music industry, there's still more room for more people. Music industry sort of different. It feels like that's better or different, as in because songs, everyone like new songs, you can just have heaps of people liking a new song in that. But although to keep new songs coming in that, but with YouTube, everyone could like a YouTube video in that. But yeah, actually, so true because well, you can upload songs on YouTube and that. But yeah, true. So, but there's just not that much room for that many people to become a YouTuber in that. It just doesn't work mathematically. You can't have most people be YouTubers. It just doesn't work. And then there's also just like you can't. It's just not enough time people watching in that. It just doesn't work. Even the study, well, there's that study that found that 90% of views go to 4% of channels, which shows how sort of little hope there is for the rest of the channels, because that means the other 96% of channels are fighting over 10% of views. That study also said that I think 25% of people in UK, that young people in the UK want to be YouTubers. 25%, that's so flippin' high. That's insane. That's so high. Probably more than want to be president. Probably more than any other occupation in that. But that's just, and I know two people in my life that want to be YouTubers in that. And I mean, it's like, I don't really know what to say. Like, I mean, and then they sort of tell me about the achievements on the YouTube, and I think good on them. Like, they've done well, and they're legitimately growing, and it's sort of like, I totally want to get behind and back them and say, yo, and I'm sure if I was still doing YouTube, I would say that. But it's sort of like, I mean, if they're doing it for fun, 100% go for it in that. But if you're doing it for which a lot of people are, or they don't start out, but then they soon come to believe that they're doing it for money, it's like, no, don't do it with the hope of getting money. Like, the chances of it being a financially viable thing are so low. They just are so low. Like, I mean, even in the study, which was like 2016, found that like people that started then like in 2017 to become a YouTuber, the chances that they succeed to get into the top 4% were 1%. So for every 100 vloggers that started, for every 100 vloggers that started in 2017, 99 of them would fail to make it into the top 4%, which was, and even the top 4% didn't make, even if you're in the 4% mark, which I think I actually was. I think I am. That I still isn't financially viable. Like, it was still like need to be like twice as popular in order to be there. I don't know if that would be top 2% or whatever. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's just not. Yeah, and it's pretty incredible, really, that the top. You had a 1%, and that was way back in 2017. Fast forward 5 flipping years. That's insane. There's like there would be less than 1%. It's probably 0.1% now. It's just so low in that. Some of the other categories were a bit higher. I think the highest was news and politics as a category. That was 10% chance of succeeding, which sounds real high. Kind of is high in that. But that still means that 9 out of 10 will fail, and by now it will have dropped. And that was the highest category. Gaming was about a 5% chance of succeeding. This was way back in 2016, and with every passing year, it will become less and less easy, and the top channels will become more and more solidified. And it's sort of like, as you know, it's just a cycle of, it just happens. Just like the rich getting richer sort of cycle on YouTube. It just like those top channels like WatchMojo.com will then be so popular, have so many viewers, then they'll get put on the new page. And so then people that just get a smartphone that has YouTube, they'll be like, oh, this is cool, let's watch WatchMojo. And it will just continually go to those same few people in that. And I'm not saying whether this is right or wrong. I'm just saying this is reality. This is what happens. Most people can't be YouTubers. Most people will fail if they attempt to become a YouTuber at becoming a YouTuber in that. So there's not only chances that you'll just be intestimony unlikely to make it as a YouTuber, but then there's also the entire nonsense that not has gone on but continues to go on, like the demonetization stuff and the support, which I contact them a few, like I say, over the course of probably over a year period, and just useless the whole way through. I mean, there's a couple of them that were like all right, but the vast majority of them, were not good. They were not good, and even the ones that were all right didn't. They're still very avoided of. Even like that, even when I ask questions of how I could like follow the YouTube service and that, like what is the rule? Like even the flippant question of, are you allowed to have 2 concurrent streams on your channel at once? Right? Simple question, like because currently I'm doing a live stream now. So am I allowed to start up another live stream at the same time? Not an exact copy of this, or that'd be a separate question. But like, are you allowed to start up another question, another stream in that? They refused to answer. If it's against their terms of service to have 2 streams going on your stream at once, they refused to say whether yes or no. Like either yes you can or no you can't. They wouldn't even answer that. I'm like, literally, dude, like, what the heck? How am I supposed to follow your policy if you refuse to tell me your policy? Like, they literally wouldn't even answer that, because he's like, there's channels that, like, at that time, there's a channel that had 7 streams going. It's like, are you going to ban this channel or not? Is this against your terms of service? This channel right here that has 7 streams. I mean, and then I think that was after I'd asked it. I think or maybe it was before, I'm not sure. I think it was after. I had like 3, 4, I had up to 7 streams at once as well. But they refused to even tell me if that's even allowed. It's like, what do you mean you refuse to tell me? Like, what? It's just mind-bogglingly stupid. Like, they refuse to tell me when I'm literally asking them. It's like, what is your policy on this and that? And so then I cannot break your policy. So what's your policy on this? Oh, well, we're going to refuse to tell you in that. I mean, you do what you want. We may just ban you if you break it, but we're not actually going to tell you it. So then you can't avoid breaking it because you don't know what it is. Like, it's just ridiculous. And it's just, there's so much of this nonsense. And I'm sure most of it still exists. And I mean, even things like removing the dislike button is just, I strongly disagree with that. So there's just so many things. So it's like, I really don't think, I do not advise people to try and become YouTubers in that. But with the exception of if they're just doing it for fun and they're not actually, if they've got zero expectation of actually getting money back off it in the future, then and they're enjoying it while they do it, sure, that's all good in that. But if you have a hope of getting money, don't even try. It's just not gonna. It's almost certainly not gonna work. Obviously there'll be, but then if everyone followed your advice, then no one you would then become a YouTuber in that, and then it would have been bad advice in that. But I say overall, I think the amount of pain I would have saved people, time and pain that I would have saved people from no one doing it versus like all of the people that want to do it doing it, I think would well overwhelm the benefit that the minority that actually made it got from making it. Okay, so there's that. Where was I even? Oh yeah, so yeah, so then I was like thinking, oh, well, I could still try and be a YouTuber and that, and do it on Rumble and that. But I mean, they just need to do better. They just need to do much better. They need to screw their head on and get their head in the game. Like, I mean, I've emailed them suggestions and they sort of said, yeah, these are good suggestions or whatnot, kind of, but then they haven't implemented. Like, one of them was just a basic thing that when you go to upload a video, one of the like, it says what formats they accept, and one of them's tripled up, so they've got it listed 3 times. So every single person that uploads a video will then have this unprofessional that has 3, and it's also then it's harder to read because like you're trying to look, well, what the heck, that's there, that it's just like, and it's like, this is for the however like many tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of videos have been uploaded on Rumble, they'll all have to have seen that, and then there's a format that they don't accept, like that I upload in, that they say that that's not listed as them accepting it. Like, they need to fix that, and they haven't, and I emailed them months ago. So, I mean, I was very optimistic about Rumble and that, but now I'm like, I don't even know. I mean, I actually did a few videos on Rumble, but then I ended up not releasing them. But it's like, they need to do better. They really do need to do better. Yeah. So yeah, and they need it, and they need to make a very clear path of this is how you get monetized, and this is. And like for example, me, I have no idea why all those videos that are monetized that are getting views and not getting any money. Like, is there ads on them? Is the fact there's no is that the problem, or is the ads on them? But then for another reason, I'm not getting the money. Like they need to make it very clear. They need to make it very clear. And I felt like YouTube one. That's actually one thing that was good of YouTube. That actually was pretty clear. I mean, back in my day, all you needed was to get 10,000 views. That was and that was what I got monetized on. I was before the new system of the of 1,000 subscribers and that, and 4,000 hours of watch time. 4,000 or 40,000? 4,000. Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, I was really optimistic about that. Yeah. Yeah, so there's that, and so T-Series, there's that. Thoughts on the election, that guy. And so yeah, anyway, so now what's the next thing I was gonna... I can go through the analytics and that. And... 3. So actually at a net 3, although the last 90 will be net negative. So in the last 90 days... I'm still losing subscribers overall. Oh, I got a big boost. I'm like, yeah, that will be because of this. So, it's 200 US dollars now. That is over the course of 90 days, though. So, it's probably about 2 US dollars a day. Maybe 2 to 3 US dollars a day. I mean, and I don't really do much on it. I do virtually nothing on it anymore. Although I do actually do streaming. So, these are the stats of the last 90 days. Engagement. Audience, and that stuff there. Oh yeah, who was the audience? Oh, what? Not enough data. With 39,000 viewers, still not enough data. Oh, and then this thing, yeah, when it's streamed, and I still don't know if because they say, yeah, so 3,000 people should get notified. And normally I get very few people coming by the stream. So I wasn't... there we go. Because I was thinking today, this is what I was thinking about. I was wondering, what was I doing before I got banned? Obviously, what was it? What streaming... What... Just thinking, what... Well, and another thing also, because someone threatened... So they threatened to get my... that they're going to ban my channel in a month and that. And then... about a month later, I got banned in that. Now, I accidentally streamed this dodgy stream. There was actually a scam in that. But I had 0 copyright strikes on my stream. I had 0 of community guideline strikes on my stream. So I was like, all clear. And then suddenly, warning, ban in the same day in that. And there was other channels in that. What would happen is this channels, in most cases, this here was a bit different. Although with this one here, I was streaming it was like the live count in that. I had the link to it as credit in that, but it was the live counts of it in that. Yeah. So, and that was a very bad mistake. But yeah, I mean, because I woke up and it had like 20,000, 30,000 viewers in that on YouTube and that. And so I was really I'm genuinely surprised still to this day that it wasn't removed. And then even after that, there was still streams that kept appearing. Like there's a stream that I reported that was a scam and it had like 20,000 viewers and it was still up hours later. YouTube did not remove it in that. But some of what was happening is people would then, like Syndrome of B had it happen, someone would hack into his account and then stream it and then the account would get banned in that rather than YouTube thing. Oh yeah, actually this dude's been hacked and we'll give him back his channel. Eventually they did, but yeah. So anyway, I was thinking about what was happening. Because I remembered, because I was like, I can't really remember, like, was I just streaming like heaps and doing heaps of videos not long before I get banned? So this here is what I was looking at. Yes, I know how to access it. It used to not be in an easy place. And so, yeah, I was looking at this, I was like, oh, that's right. Yeah, there's on my iPad. And I was just, so I was sort of just doing not that many videos, actually, all this random stuff. Because I had a pneumothorax in May, which then, like, significantly slowed. Because before that, I was covering all these bots and all that. And, watch Cars 3. Boom. And then, because I was looking at sort of now my mind's covered so much other stuff in the stream that Creative Commons. So yeah, I still like 2 videos, 4 videos, 3 videos, 3 videos. And it doesn't even look like much, because I was thinking today, I'm like, I was looking at my search history and thinking like, well, what was I like? What was I spending my day in that, like search history, like my activity in that, and all the videos I watched in that? How was I only releasing like 3 videos, and I'm probably spending a heap of time doing it? But then I realized that I was actually streaming on the live streams in that, like for 4 hours a day on that. So yeah, but yeah, sort of looking back, well, me like 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Half of them on the 3, but it would have been a different day. But I was like covering that each night, all the different things. So when was the day that I had? That was the day. So oh yeah, the 8th. So then I slowed down a lot from doing like 3 or 4 videos every day. That was crazy. And because like that day I would have been researching all about the quality, like how to upgrade it and that. And 6 out of 5,000. Is that characters? That's clever. That's so clever. Because that's how many characters. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, rediscovering my old jokes. But yeah, so then I had that, and then from there I then slowed down a lot on releasing videos. So then I was only releasing, I still released 3 that day, because I still do the one at night. I remember that actually, during recording that, like an updated video, and then I slowly would review. Man, I only spent 8 minutes talking about that. 10 minutes, what the heck? That was so short. And the future ones end up spending ages. 6 minutes, oh my goodness. So I was watching it. That was a really nice time of my life, actually, because it was just sort of like relax. I was told to relax because I had the new thorax. So I was watching a Pixar movie each night. My ratings versus theirs. Keep up the good work. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, keep up the good work. That's right. Yeah, they said that was another, like, oh, from now, we'll, and then after that, it's still had issues in that. So, yeah, I was covering all these and doing all these videos and that. And then if we go to that, I can then show you the live as well, because I was also streaming alongside that time as well. I've then streamed a lot since with all the Clash. So it's sort of weird, it's very sad. I'm actually very sad. So, because, yeah, so one of the things that, so the income loss was massive in that as a negative from the getting banned. Then there was the loss of all the content that I would have created in that time. Like, I was just going for it. I had so many ideas. I was so enthusiastic, and that just, like, totally crushed my dreams of becoming a YouTuber, and it's just sort of, that was so, and then also, and then the third thing being, like, I've just never regained that properly. Like, there was a day a while back that I was like, oh, yeah, no, I can do it. I can start doing all this stuff again. And maybe when I was in covering, like, these games, I was starting to be like that a bit. Yeah, because I mean, I guess, yeah, I actually was dedicatedly covering that. But yeah, but then I didn't, sort of like just never sort of recovered into covering it full time again like I was. But again, back then it wasn't, I was carrying it so much that it wasn't healthy to be doing it that much either. So yeah, this was around that time. So I was actually doing 4-hour Brawl Stars streams in that, because I was like looking at that, I'm like, how the hang? I mustn't have been doing much at all. Like, I was only doing like 3 or 4 videos a day, and they're all short. But actually, it does take a while to like then, like, once you recorded it, then do the thumbnail, export the thumbnail, upload the video, title the video, etc. It did actually take a lot, because you're like, 2-minute video, that'd be so quick. And I mean, that one probably was reasonably quick, but then you have to decide what you're doing and then cover it. And yeah, I don't know. It seems like, it looks like going back. It's like, what? Well, that should have taken just like an hour of my day. And it's like, no. It took longer. And then there's the answering all the comments and that. And I don't know what, because at that point I wasn't playing Battlelands or whatnot. So I don't really, so sort of doing all these other stuff. Just the randomest videos. But it's sort of so sad that I just lost that. Just that I was just so, like, I mean, it was unhealthy because I was just spending so much time on YouTube, but it just, it like brings back like happy, excited memories. Like, I just remember my enthusiasm was just so strong. Like, I'd just be like, like just, on the computer basically all day, I think. And sort of, I would just, like, oh, this will make a good video, and oh, this will make a video, and then just like look back and I'm like, dude, I was so flippin' creative, man. I was so creative in that. And I mean, I know that my style doesn't appeal to most people, just like my statistics in the videos, like Everdale, but it's just like all sorts of different things, like just the names, the descriptions, and like there's jokes, there's shout outs to Lynn, just a smile face, the 6 out of 10 thing. Let me think of a joke. What do you get when you cross Fortnite and Vortex? Let me introduce you to Vortex. Not funny, but I sort of you get what I meant. And more copyright nonsense stuff. It was yeah, my daily news coverage of YouTube changes. I loved doing that. It was so fun. I just come up with all these different ideas, just here, there, and everywhere, and that. And I was always trying to SEO them. SEO them. SEO them. So like trying to optimize them to get in the search titles and that. So like with these bots, I'd be like researching like what are the bots that people. Well, I'd look at my ones, and then sometimes I'd title them like specifically trying to. It was just that enthusiasm, and now I've had like a year and a half of not covering YouTube changes and that, and I'm like very, very like there's a disenchanted voter, which is a person disenchanted from voting, and then there's like disenchanted suicide, like yeah, YouTube suicide. Like I'm just like so disenchanted with it. But I don't know. It's like I guess if a new platform came out, I could sort of cover it, but it just was. It won't be this. It wouldn't be the same as just this utter enthusiasm of looking for all sorts of things. Like I remember when they added category, and there's all sorts of things that I've noticed that they've added in more recent times that I would have done videos on all sorts of things. Like that time that they used to comment to answer a question, that was really cool. New Gmail filters, all sorts of different things. That must have been out of sync. And anyway, so yeah, that was sort of the time I slowed down. So because I was thinking when I banned, was I covering them extensively? So no, I actually wasn't. I was only doing like 1 or 2 videos a day, which wasn't actually that much. I don't know what I was doing for the most of the rest of the day and that. I remember it was a hugely nice, relaxing time after having like done 3 videos a day to then just sort of dropping back to that's quite nice. Just like not doing YouTube most of the day. And it's sort of odd because, I obviously have all these old heyday videos and that. Most of them don't get shown much in the algorithm much anymore compared to what they used to, so I don't get that many comments. But it's sort of, in like 3 years' time, I won't even be able to answer the questions. Like, I've obviously got a lot of memory in that's still around in that. But as time goes on, people ask me heyday questions, and I'll be like, honestly, I don't even know. Like, even though the game isn't changing that much, I still feel like I'll forget more and more. And then Battlelands will be gone, so there'll be very few Battlelands. There won't be much Battlelands stuff anymore. Because that game's going to be dead soon. It's insane. It's insane. The reason why I'm doing it tomorrow is that I'm going away, so... we're going away on Thursday, so yeah. Proof from search results. But yeah, it was a very interesting time covering all this, and so at that time... I did my Hey I Have Autism one, and that one actually got like 1,000 views, which is pretty reasonable. It was incredible how many people in the live chat and in the comments then said they had autism also. Charlie D'Amelio. I haven't read any articles about her or heard anything about her for not this year. I don't think not for the entirety of December, possibly the entirety of November 20. I don't know. Like, but back in the day, it was like, it was so fun covering that. The silent stream, attempting the 16K resolution. Oh, yeah, because it's like, it didn't look like it did much on May the 4th and that. May the 4th be with you. Looking back at here, well, actually, it looks like heaps because it's got double, but those ones will have been from the 3rd. Just like the time-lapse time overlap. But, like, I did a 10-minute 31 of that, 35-minute, 3 videos on that day. And I even said, like, something I mentioned that I was like this. Yeah, it was late, which shows sort of how busy I must have been. Like this one was late from the 30th of April. I'm racking up a big backlog since I released 3 per day. I'm doing daily videos on it's like that's how busy I was. So that 4th, I'd release those 3. Did I do a stream on that? Oh, maybe I didn't on that day. 3rd. No, I must have not done it that day and that, but I must have been the whole day. I must have been researching all this how to do 16K. I remember looking up all about it, and then one day I spent like a couple of hours or 1 hour doing like the description for the 16K Wikipedia, which they didn't end up accepting. But I would have been looking up how do we do 16K and trying it on the different platforms. So that will have been that day. Then the 5th, I did a 5-hour stream on that. And it's sort of like, oh man, life was so different back then. I don't know. There's just a whole heap of factors involved, like just the fact I was banned, and like the fact that someone said they're going to ban me. I told YouTube about it. They said, oh no, we'll put you on the list so it won't happen. And that I got banned without having any of it, because you have option to get 1, 2, 3 community guideline strikes. I didn't have any of them. Didn't have any copyright strikes out of 1, 2, or 3. No strikes. I'd never had a strike in the history of my entire channel in that. And my videos, family friendly videos, monetized videos, and then it just banned like that. I appeal, declined, and it was like, well, I'm done. Like, that's just like years worth of work, and not only that, I couldn't even access the videos, not because I don't have all those videos saved, so I couldn't even access some of those videos. They're gone forever. Just years worth of work, insane, and like I'd been putting in so many hours, and then just boom, gone, and it was like, what? Like, yeah, it was so hard. So then on the 5th, I did like a 5-hour thing on that. Then I did the if I bought a computer, I'd buy. I don't know, it seemed like they're so short, but honestly, thinking back, I was spending a lot of time. Because then I was also answering all the comments in that. These ones don't look like they have many comments, but some of my old videos were getting, like, oh, that was in 2019, that. But yeah, there was like sometimes so many comments. Like, so many comments in that. And then I am popular 24 streams, I would have showed off that thing there. Some of them have like 54 views. That's so tiny in that. Yeah, but yeah, like sort of, it's very interesting seeing the sort of content I was putting not long before I was banned. What if we go back another time? That's basically what the extent of what I looked at today. Looking back, oh, I did the ASMR video, Bomber Grounds. That was fun. I was setting up a lot of those streams and having those streams going. That was only one of them. Oh, I'm not a robot. I remember that thing. Yeah, but yeah, because I could like do those streams again. I don't really know what one I'd do it on, because like Rumble sort of has a storage thing, so you couldn't really. So it's sort of like I could develop my own website, but then I don't have the capacity to do that. I need to do a whole bit of coding on me, because I thought I could just like do these 24/7 streams. I remember I wanted to put a photo of Lauren there, and people were like, just put a photo of Lauren, but there was not any non-copyright photos of Lauren versus there was of Zach. That was I'm pretty sure I would have credited that in the description. I probably even talked about it in the description about why I didn't have for Lauren. Oh, I haven't. Maybe I did. I probably, oh, because that was a time lapse. There will have been a stream on that as well, in which case I will have. But yeah, I remember like setting up the streams was taking a while. ASMR. That was real cool. Oh, that like just that image looks cool in that. Oh, and then the coronavirus series. Oh, making those, they took ages, but they were so cool. They were so cool. The super chat history and that. I've never seen. As of that point, I'd never seen anyone that's done it. Tom liked my video. Thanks, Tom. Oh, I went and did a bit of Minecraft, and then yeah, I was gonna do another one after that, but then it like wouldn't start Minecraft and that. Royal Rivals. Oh, my last Royal Rivals video. I was covering so much. I was really trying to succeed, and I totally reckon that if I'd kept going, I would have succeeded. It was just a matter of time. But now my channel's so screwed. But Flash getting killed and that. I mean, I sort of had a mix of gaming and then all sorts of different YouTube changes and crazy things and that. Tom liked my video. What was the other thing? I was going to show you the live. There we go, live to see. Oh, I don't know then if it would have ended after Lauren versus Zach. It might have been here. Those time lapses were so sick. Like the one about Perry versus Obama. That was awesome. I actually did that on another channel, like the stream itself. Sacking. Yeah, there we go. Unfortunately, even since my last stream out, Lauren Gray vs TikTok in November 2019. Wow, that was so long ago. What the heck? Lauren Gray. Wow, I guess, you know, what? That's crazy. Like, that was pre-D'Amelio. That's insane. I'm still able to, there you go. That's why I just, yeah. Did I, her birthday? Anyway. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah. Because I couldn't get an image. Okay, so where are we at? Yeah, so, oh, yeah, Tom liked my video. Thanks, Tom. I remember this one. That was funny. Because people had been asking me to cover it. Electric Racco had, and I wish I had. Because then they got banned right when I started the very first bot. Would have made for a great, oh, what a good comment, man. I do love some of my old comments. Let me show you something really quick. Look at this. Look at this. Look. Tom liked my video. Oh, gee, thanks. Oh, I think that's great. I love that. I love that. What are the comments on that? He then probably comment, oh, this guy. Oh, this guy. I remember him. He's a bot. Ah, it's a weird. That was the joke. That's funny. That was only 1 year ago. SDA. Is he from? He was Afghanistan, wasn't he? Yeah. Yo, the things I remember that I hadn't checked him today, but I do remember seeing. I thought of him today, but I didn't see his profile. But yeah, it's just crazy looking back. End of an era. Oh, Eyeless. Oh yeah, I was covering all those things. And then I did a bit of Bullet League. It's just like, oh man, I sort of like forgot some of the things I was gonna say. The stream, all those, yeah, doing those. Old versus new, hidden. That's such a cool thumbnail. So is that one. Heyday inbox. Oh yeah. That's not that many views. I was like, it's almost more. But see, like this one here, just a random video gets more like that. See this? It was an ongoing thing. I mean, so many people were annoyed that I stopped covering Heyday much. I mean, I did it till I got banned. Like I'm not sure when the last one was, but I'm pretty sure there's one after that. I wasn't doing many, maybe like once every couple of weeks or month and that. But it's just there's so few people interested in my Heyday videos. It's crazy. Like just a random how to check comment. I mean, that's actually a really good video. But just like all sorts of different ones. We get more likes than the Heyday one, which I had like 10,000 of my audience plus had subscribed for Heyday. Yet just a random video on that would get as many likes. All sorts of just different things. Like it was just, yeah. Like that video just about just quarantine, and then that got more likes. Like, yeah, that got more likes. That got 9 likes. And yeah, oh, whoa, 23,000. That's crazy. What the heck? Oh, like heaps of them. That's insane. That was annoying thing. Cause like, yeah, that was another thing. Cause I really wanted to, yeah. There's a reason for that. Yeah, I mean, I can, yeah, that was a, let's go to this.
Why limit your sales channels?
I can tell you how many
dislikes up to 21%.
I'm Speed. No, okay, I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah, very quick, like, quicker, well, if I start telling you about how quick it is, then it won't be a quick one. So anyway, make the perfect decoration for your farm and town.
This was an update thing.
This new decoration type opens up wonderful. Wonderful. In fact, we're gonna control I that. Come over here. Wonderful. That one? Oh, no, that's italics. Oh, what was the underline? Control U! Ah, there we go. What was the strike through? I can't remember what the shortcut for that was. Anyway, wonderful possibilities. Got that? Okay, there we go. Upgrade your custom decoration. So upgrading decorations.
So what did I title it? Heyday update, because there's new custom decorations info. So this was the info.
Like, because we've got the, we can upgrade the townhouse.
Each deco
we can upgrade the shop.
Upgrade levels.
What's the shop? The Daily Dirt. Nope. The roadside shop. And Via Maggie. And what's the one other thing we can upgrade? The truck? Yeah, and the truck. Yeah, the truck. So anyway, now you can upgrade decorations. That will keep lots of you busy. Okay, there we go. So, upgrade your custom decorations and choose how they will look next. Each deco comes
Now, this wasn't new info in that. This wasn't... I'm pretty sure this wasn't... Maybe I don't think this was public. Unless Heyday had put it out on their thing. It was still info or whatever. Anyway, mass dislike. Although I reckon most of those dislikes would have come after the update. Like, it would have... This valid... Like, it was like a... yeah, because this would have shown up or something after the thing, and then yeah, you didn't even show anything. Well, I did show stuff. Oh, yeah, so they must have put it in the dairy news, like all of this plus more. So then this video just seemed absolutely useless. But I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know in advance how much info would be in the dairy news, so I was like, oh, I'll make this video, because, like, compared to knowing nothing, that is something, but then they obviously released a dairy news thing that then said all this info plus more, so then this video just looked dumb, but, Hey, it's Lynn. I wasn't a fan of Deco's, but... There's not even that many dislikes. Sneak, this useless. Screaming. What a waste. You stupid. I reckon that I was affected less than most people by the negative comments on YouTube, but they definitely are an unpleasant thing. My thoughts, T-series, history. These ones, because this is what I was looking at earlier. I sort of thought I'd make this video while it's fresh in my mind. Because otherwise, in like a few days, I will sort of forgotten.
Want to pass your certification exams first time?
Well,
do an update.
Our buddy Fortley is all but gone.
I just it was so good. Like thinking back to like I just like me every day and just be like covering all sorts of stuff.
As like my hair will be in like a few days. So then, yeah, because it's yeah, it's not only this long. Anyway, okay, let's come over and have a look at good old our buddy Logan. Now this year I've got this here still because I've kept their cache, sort of, you call them. Oh, that dude's gone. Okay, anyway, I've kept the other ones like so we can.
Most of those channels are the same ones. That's crazy.
So this is what he looked like, and he's still, as of the most recent one, had commented a day ago on my video here.
Oh yeah, so there's that. Analytics. Because people that watched it after the update, well then they obviously already knew what was in the update. Oh no, that got most of it. Oh no, that's 67. Oh, then I got banned. Yeah, but that was 60 days after the update. Versus like, let's say it came out like a day after the update, after this video. Yeah, like look at that. Like 4 days, it was only at, it hadn't even had 1,000 views. So 19,000 of those views, over 19,000. Well, over 20,000 of those views were after the update was out. So of course people would be like, this is so useless. Like if they watched it 2 months, if they watched a video which has very little information as it is, but more info than if you knew nothing before an update, then clearly if you watch it 2 months later, you're like, well, this hasn't got, it's like, yeah. But see, as just, you see just how much that, I mean, obviously all the ban, I got none, but then, so then it's unbanned in March, yeah, just a tiny bit, but yeah, it's a real, and then I started premiering my videos, that's right. But I think someone watched it on channel pages. Yeah. Channel content. Logan was down.
I watched Big Hero 6 and that, so he's still around, but not anymore. Well, yes and no. Anyway, here we go. So this here is our good old buddy Logan and that. If we go to videos, ka-chow, boom. This account has been terminated due to multiple or severe violations of YouTube policy against spam. You think?
Yeah, so, it's so weird. It's just really strange looking back at all this. Top chat, live chat. Call me maybe. Hey, Josh Winder, welcome to the stream. Zevi, welcome to the stream. Edits, welcome to the stream. Oh, that's all the chat of the whole night. I'm still myself in my videos. I find it more of a toy to make videos in a way. I do what I like in the videos, but also put on a bit of effort to try and see what works. You're sussy. Nobody want. Well, yeah, that's like such an old claim. Like people, well, that he didn't even explicitly make the claim, but I assume. Oh, it's 16 likes. Wow, that's really high. What the heck? That's like over 10% of people that came by. I mean, I guess not many people are going to come by. Oh, we've only been going to 1.5 hours, which is actually, it feels like it's been a long stream considering sort of the topic. But at the same time, I've done heaps of streams that are many hours long. Don't do a bridge incident. No. So, what do we got? What do we got? Killer here. But then another thing that I had is when I was releasing heaps of like editing videos, those ones wouldn't actually do that well, which then gave me the lesson that editing them doesn't actually help. Which I mean, as a general rule, it does, but in the heyday, what the heck? That chocolate's melted. It's Lindor, 70% cocoa, but yeah. So then I sort of stopped. I didn't edit many videos, but it didn't really have to. There we go. Do you do YouTube for a living? Do you read chat? Asperger's syndrome, read chat, please. Boom, red. Although by now it's just me watching, so everyone's gone. I took too long. Oh, these bots. We are going to hide this user. Thank you, Locked Off, getting rid of the other ones. Cool beans. Okay. Oh, we got 2 here. Participants, just me. Okay, but I thought I still want to talk about this anyway. All this. Well, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I sort of got a bit. I sort of just was watching back the other ones versus. It's sort of real interesting. Oh no, that was what I thought would made it. Oh no, this was for the streams. Because where are we? Oh, I remember too. There was so many of those. I mean, they didn't get any views, but that was complete. How did that get? People must have just like. Oh no, there was a stream. That must have been. Oh, it was a premiere. Oh, I must have got likes in the premiere. Oh, I must have just left that going for the whole day. It's like, what the heck? Like, it's just me like running around footage and that. Like, how it's a crazy, really, how things work. Like these, like this here. I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna bet money. It would be myself. If it was. I reckon it will have less than 3 hours of watch time. It might not, but I'm gonna guess it does. Oh no. Oh, okay. So it does have more than that. Never mind then. Oh no, that was probably with the premiere though. Premiere. Oh no, it's first. No, I was wrong. There was one of my videos that was one of these ones, which had less views than. That had less views than the length of the video. But I totally understand. Like, was I even talking? I may have been talking. Oh, actually, I'll check. Some of them were just footage. Some of them, was I streaming them or talking? Premiere. Oh, it must have been video. It's just 2 hours of this, and I uploaded all of them. Thank you, Lynn. Prince Tello, let's go. I was hoping that game would take off, but it didn't. It's dead now. There's a lot of games I covered hoping they'd take off. Like, literally every game I've covered, I'd hope it'd take it off, and well, none of them have. I mean, other than like that I cover from the start, but like Brawl Stars didn't cover from the start. Like off games I covered like from early on. That's a cool thumbnail. Oh, they got a few more likes. They're severely disliked. It's real cool looking at all the old ones I used to cover. Oh, yeah, that was when it has the automatic ones, and I just mentioned that today. Oh, it's really, really interesting looking back at when. Oh, it's just random. Here's cool video. Oh, what? That was from the. That was such a. What the heck? Why did I upload that like so long later? Oh, and then the Heyday Popeyes covering how to make squares. Oh, remade the tutorial. Oh, the trending. Whoa. Why is number 64? Is that an accident? Oh, yeah, that was the YouTube classic. Oh, that was when I was really enthusiastic about location-based games. I still am. I still think that would be something I could be good at. Future predictions about programming. Oh, I remember doing that. It's hard. Let's go. That game. Pico Tanks. That's limited for I don't know why. Oh, yeah, I remember that. So how was all March just doing that? I'm really surprised, actually, that I was only doing that for some of it. Oh, and then that one went viral when it was on a German show host. Not the video, but the question about that. YouTube changes. Oh. I actually did that video. What? I actually did that. I was literally thinking about that literally yesterday because I had a question about Excel. And it's like, I should do a video titled that, and then people can ask questions, because I used to find heaps of people that had questions in the comments that then no one would answer, but I would answer. But then if they answered them on that, I would have... And I did answer a couple of them back then, but there's all... Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, that was cool. That was a cool idea. I actually did that video, and like it obviously didn't work.
So I've got my essay written, and I've been working on it for about a week.
Yeah,
so now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly to...
What is up, everybody? This is your
glasses
site, and
on.
welcome to this brief video. And basically, I thought for the goal of this video is just to this is just the comment section is a form where you can ask Excel questions that you have, and either myself or other members of the community will answer those to the best of our ability. Now, how I got this idea is there was like different tutorials I was watching today on Excel that were really good tutorials, and there's lots of people asking questions in the comments, like not huge amounts, but a few. And I saw, and lots of them were unanswered or whatnot, and it's like, that's a shame, because, like, well, with my channel, I try and focus on answering every single comment possible, which, of course, isn't possible for all channels, but that's my goal. And so to see these comments there, it's like, and so I answered a couple of them, but then it was like, oh, no, there's all these other people. If they asked it on my channel, I'd try my best to, and not just mine, numerous channels would do this, but I mean, like, that channel didn't, and it was like, oh, that's such a shame, and there'd be people asking all over those tutorial videos. So if you have any Excel question, be sure to ask it below. It can be from the most basic question to the most complex question. If it's the most complex question, I probably won't be able to answer it. I won't be able to, but there'll be other members of the community that can. For example, like, I ask a question, someone helped me really on Reddit, which was awesome, and, so that I have Excel questions, but there's also people that ask Excel questions that I can answer, so it's really cool, because everyone can help everyone. So I just want to say, if you have any Excel question, leave your comment below, your question below, and I'll try my best to answer it. And if there's any other questions below that you know the answer to, please answer it. And let's see
your questions in the subreddit, and we'll do. PewDiePie back in the day. It's actually really cool seeing all these. Yeah, but basically, so the moral of the story is, what is it? Oh, and it still got supported. Yeah, it's basically like, I don't know if I'll end up starting YouTubing again, or if I'll just be completely done with it, or if I'll just try it on different platforms. I don't know. Like, I reckon it was just this really cool creative thing that I had going, and it's like, if I was far more popular, it would have totally worked, because I could just do videos and then people would just be like, oh, I did do a video on this. I thought I was thinking about this yesterday as well. I'm like, I was gonna do a video on that. I'm so glad I did. Oh, that's so cool. I thought I'd forgotten to do. There's a couple of videos I legit wish I'd done, like on not being a YouTuber. I love it. Most of it, like, it's just Lynn and one other person. I got two on this one.
YouTubers always forget to update their descriptions. That's right, folks. It is so
real.
Honestly, it happens so much. It's so accurate. It's so true. So often, YouTubers, including myself, forget. Now, I'm only going to give you 2 examples. I could have searched for ages and found a whole heap of examples, but I didn't want to search for ages, so I'll just give you 2 examples. But this is so typical, and I feel like it's in part...
Obviously not typical enough that I could easily find examples.
I feel like if there was a different... Like, I feel like if it was YouTube put it in a certain spot, you'd be able to find it easy and update it. But just 2 examples. Just 2 examples. Okay, so we come over here. This guy here does... Well, in Excel tutorials, how I found him, and all this, he went from level 1 crook doing Word to level 50 Mafia boss doing Python. So if we look at about...
That's a meme I haven't heard in a long time.
There we go. How to use Excel 2010 and Word 2010. None of any of these latest ones look anything like that. What about Godson? So now, this guy's, he's huge. He's got a lot of subscribers. He's really popular. So Godson...
I feel sorry for him, because his videos get so few views now.
Himself, and this is I saw it as well. It's funny. So he obviously updated it, because people
Plan
I'd
to
say
post
most
Rush
YouTubers don't
Wars.
update it only every few months. But anyway, there we go. And including Clash Royale, PUBG, Rush Wars, and a game now deleted, and more. I plan to post Rush Wars. So obviously,
I'm sure he's changed. I'm pretty sure he has changed it now. Ah, it is changed. RIP Rush Wars, 1 billion views, insane. But basically, yeah, I don't know where this all leaves me, and I don't know. I don't know. It's sort of like I'm just in a new headspace now, like talking about all this. Oh, and that's right. I was doing a spree of games. Oh, and then I had the month off. That was a nice month off. That was really nice. Oh, then that. Oh, don't get me started. That's like a whole mental ball game going into 2019, because like I was. Yeah, I just finished Rush Wars, and then I was trying new games, which was fun. The last Elite, that was a cool stream idea. The Heyday ones, I was much more optimistic about Heyday back then. That was such a popular one. And then the How to Win ones, which I've never actually ended up... The last time I've communicated with Supercell, they have not responded. So I apologize to the people that entered those. Unless Supercell responds to me about... Well, the last time I contact them, because there was this thing, I asked them to add in Clash Mini to add what's it called like Rumble, is it? Because when I posted the YouTube link to the stream, I posted a Rumble link to the stream, and it ended up, and then it banned me from them posting chat messages. So then they unbanned me in that because it wasn't. But I said, can you please add whitelist Rumble? But they said no. So in that sense, I've communicated with them in that. But as in, yeah, in a other matter, not like that, they have not responded. That's right. And then we went. That was actually kind of recent. We looked all at that. It's like, I remember that time. It's like, so different. And then the Battlelands, the final stopping Battlelands, and then it's so sad, man. It's gonna be gone completely. And then I took a big break, and that was nice because you could say, but then you missed all the content. Yeah, it's like, yeah, true, but I really enjoyed that break. It was a wonderful month off. And then the future of my channel. Who knows what I said in that? All likes, wow. And then these cool ones about OBS and. The change about that, and all sorts of interesting stuff, I reckon. Justin Bieber's channel, Windows 7, that's ineligible, that's limited. The world record, well done, Jade, yeah. I remember the name before even seeing that in the title. Covering all these games. New icons. Yeah, anyway, so I don't even, sort of, like, what to say from all this. Yeah, it's been a journey, and I mean, I don't know. I just don't know what I'm gonna do because it's sort of like I'm good at that kind of stuff, but it just wasn't revenue generating on me, and it was like so. I then 2, I could just get banned again, and then it'd be like, then yeah, 3, it like I just ended up like I couldn't get it in between. Like it'd either be like I just can't manage to motivate myself to do almost any YouTube or streaming, or I'm just like so much of it, and it's just like consumes my whole day, my whole life, really, which isn't good. And the other thing is, yeah, I don't know if it's good for me to go back into doing it, and. I just don't know if, I mean, I reckon I could foster back that enthusiasm again, but it's just like, I don't know if I want to do it on YouTube anymore, or if I just do it on other platforms. I just don't know. Or then I just do game review and whatnot. It's just so hard to know. I was gonna, was that the latest one? That was in June. That got like so little reaction. Like my old ones used to have like 1,000 people plus voting in polls. Comments. I was gonna do a stream answering all the comments as well. I don't know where it leaves me. I really don't. It's all this content, like a year worth of content, over a year worth of content I would have created that I now haven't created, and that's sort of sad because there's so many ideas I had that I never did. And then it's like, I just don't even know if I want to do it on YouTube anymore. I'm really unsure. I really don't know about all this, but yeah, it was that ban was so hard and just wrecked my channel analytically, as you can see, and my motivation and trust in. Well, I was already very skeptical. I didn't let on before that. But if you look at, I mean, it's not very helpful because that massive peak in that. But like, this is me now. It's just like, it's literally just a line on the bottom, other than that tiny blip when I did Everdale for a little bit. But like, it was like, it's hard to tell because of that. But yeah, it was like, see if we go let's say October 2018 custom. 18. Oh, full screen. Oh. 18, and let's just go like 8, like that. So we'll get that. Yeah, but yeah, look at that. Look at that. It's just like it was like solidly like since 20. That's crazy. That's way back in 2018. But since 2019, the lowest we really got was 6,000 views, or 5,000 something there. But yeah, and then from March 2020, we're just 10,000, 10, 15,000, 17, 22,000, 24,000, huge, and then just like banned all that time, and then ever since, just like a tiny wee, a little bit, still absolutely not comparable. Even the best day since I've been unbanned is less than all of 2019, any day on 2019, any day on 2020 pre-ban, like that entire time, the absolute best day, and then most days just like not, it's like 10 times less views, and compared to that, it's like 20 times less views. So it's just like absolute, like my channel's just screwed. It's just destroyed. Like it's just absolutely nothing now. It's just, well, I mean, obviously it is still views, like 1,000 every day, 500 views, which compared to people that like are trying really hard and getting almost nowhere, that's a lot. But compared to that, my growth, which, and even with all these streams, I've done heaps of Clash Mini streams, and well, maybe it was only like sort of 13 in that. But if you have all the Everdale streams I've done, well, Valleys and Villages, Everdale, and Clash Quest Clash Mini streams, and Clash Quest and Infinite Galaxy for that matter, that's a lot of content, and we're still like got nowhere. Like we're not really growing. Like there was sort of like those days 600, oh that's 500ish, and it's still like 500ish. Like yeah, it's not really growing, despite all that huge effort we put in. So it's not like I'm like, okay, well, I'm done, I'm never coming back. I gave it another shot. I really did. I gave it another shot with Everdale, and never gave it a shot with Clash Mini, and both of them failed, and was still like just dead. And compared to that, and I mean, I could do 24/7 streams again, but then that actually costs, either you hire them, which costs heaps, or you like set them all up in your house, but then that actually does take a lot of effort to manage. Actually, in May, I was streaming, I had 24/7 streams that I had to take care of in that, which then I'd check, I think, multiple times a day, and you have to make sure that the computer's not going to run out of memory, or it doesn't have an update, and that's actually quite intensive to keep 24/7 streams up on that. They don't make much money, but they got a heap of views. Like, literally half my views each day there were from that stream there, which ended up getting 500,000 views in total, which is insane. So, yeah. What do I say? Yeah, so it's like, what is the future? Because I sort of kind of decided I'm just not going to be a YouTuber in that. But then it's like, well, then Rumble's not making me much money. I still think Rumble has a lot of potential, but that potential is not realized, or I'm not experiencing that potential. It's not like certain things it's just Rumble's useless for in terms of like categories. Like there's just some things, sure, there's markets on Rumble, but other things, no, there's just not. Like Battlelands or Heyday. You can't make a living off Heyday on Rumble. You can't make a living off Heyday on YouTube. So, yeah, and it will be interesting to see, because I mean the Battlelands YouTubers are sort of all petered out and just stopped, or like do the odd content but not much. And then it'll be interesting to see with the Heyday ones. Like, I'm amazed at the commitment. I'm amazed at Galadon as well with Clash Clans, but with these, like, you know, Ricky and Gizmo and Phoebe and Silas. Oh no, Silas is gone. Syndrome B and Nighthawk. Like, I'm amazed that they've continued. Like, I was so over Heyday not really changing or whatnot, improving in ways that I like. Obviously, there's a little minor improvements, but it was just yeah. It's not the way to. The problem is that I have to embed it. Like, you can't, if you're trying to make a living off YouTube, trying to be a YouTuber, you can't exclude making money off it. It has to be a component, like a core key component of it, in that. Like, it's just not. You can't just exclude it. You just can't. And so yeah, I've made over $10,000 US, which is a lot of money, really. But then if you say, oh yeah, but that was for, you know, that was for February the 1st, 2017, February the 2nd, 2017, February the 3rd, and then go through like 1,000 days, like all of 2017, all of 2018, all of 2019, half of 2020. And you're like, oh, actually, that's 3.5 years of your life for $10,000. Compared to, like, the minimum wage or, like, any job, that's, like, nothing. I mean, there's obviously something in that. It definitely is something, but it's, like, relative to, like, if you're supposed to pay off 3.5 years worth of expenses in that, and not, like, just cover life stuff in that, 3.5 years worth of food and all that kind of stuff. Well, yeah, but, I mean, I've been with my grandparents, so yeah. Then the food cost was not an issue, but the actual, like, that there, I think, like, most of it, like, I spent thousands on Google Ads to promote my channel, to like help grow it in that. And so that was a big expense. I spent thousands of dollars on these 24/7 live streams, some of which, like that one, did really well. but most of them didn't succeed, and I definitely didn't recuperate. Like, I think I was like, I made not much money at all from these. Like, I would have had net loss of thousands of dollars from covering. Like, it might have been like $3,000 or whatnot, and then Google Ads might have been like $3,000 as well. But then it's like, whoa, that's the majority of the revenue is just on hiring 24/7 computers or that, and then there was like buying this computer and that, which then obviously I use for obviously I use for non-YouTube stuff, but the primary purpose of it was for YouTubing related stuff, and I had it like streaming 24/7, etc. Because overview, so 500,000, like that's insanely low. Like 500,000 views gets you $58. But and then it was like to hire it, to keep it going. I'm not sure. It might have been like $60 a month. I don't know how. That might have been like 3 months. So it was like I don't know. It might have been like 89. It might have been $100 a month actually. It was between 60 and $100 a month, and so that I think that was 3 months, and so then that's like you make $58-$45 in that, but you spent like $200 to $300, so you've lost $150,000 on that stream in terms of revenue. That said, you do get a lot of growth in that. Like, how many subscribers did we get from that? But there was 2,500 subscribers, so that was crazy. And I could totally start up all these streams again, but you sort of really need it. It does cost. It really does cost to keep them all going in that. And it was a real pain to have my computer running all the time. It was just like really straining it. Like it was at 100% CPU maxed out. I don't know how much longer this computer is going to last. I hope a long time, but it has been 3.5 years now, but I'm concerned because if this gets screwed, this computer, right now, I couldn't afford a new computer, so I'd be like, well, what the heck do I do? Like, my emails and everything. My grandparents have a family computer that they got in 2017, but it's a dog of a computer. It's so flippin' slow. It's like, I could make it work for emails, but it wouldn't work for making content, so that would be that. Definitely wouldn't work for 24/7 streams that are like of 1080p, other than if it's just a silent stream or whatnot. So I could do 24/7 streams again. They do have potential in that, but then I thought, why not just do it? Like on YouTube, they just get removed, they get demonetized, all this absolute nonsense. So I might as well just create my own website and just have these streams shown up. But then who knows, perhaps it would never get discovered by people. And unless I did it on YouTube and a website and then linked to the website in the YouTube description, although that might count as negative points against my channel for doing that. There has been discussion about that before, as to if you have external links in the description, if that then... And I'm not sure, maybe they said that it doesn't affect it, or maybe they said it might affect it, or whatnot. But, yeah, potentially. But then you could then get people going to the website instead. And it's just the reason why a website is because on YouTube, it's just so unflippin' reliable. Like, you can just have your channel, like, just stream, just removed. Just, like, or channel banned, and then 500, like, it's just gone. And I think... No, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's 24/7, and they cost so much to run unless you have them. And even at home, they would be costing power. I didn't add up the cost of the power, but I'm sure they keep, like, if you're running a computer 24/7 on 100% CPU, it's like that's a bit of power. So there was, and then so I was getting some subscribers at like 50 a day on average, and then now we're just like losing subscribers. Yeah. So, where does this all leave me? I don't know. I was just sort of just reflecting on the fact of my, like, I was thinking, what was it like just before I got banned and that? Like, what was it? And since I have, obviously, then I didn't make content for months. I did like a couple videos on Rumble, but that was about it. And yeah, then I have done a few streams throughout it, some of which are now lost because I was banned on YouTube and streamed during. And then there was like a tiny bit of it left on Periscope, but then Periscope cut out. So it's like some of them, like content of me that was made, but then never doesn't exist anymore because it wasn't saved. So yeah, I don't know where this sort of leaves me in that. I was feeling a bit down looking at the past, like looking at seeing it like coming up to when I got banned and that, and I was like going for it with content. Although at that point I wasn't going for it, but I was still making content. But then looking back a bit further, seeing like, oh wow, I was covering all these different updates and all that, and that creativeness, I'd love to rechannel it, love to rekindle, yet also at a healthy rate that I don't just end up spending my whole life doing that again. It's sort of tricky. It's so tricky because he's like if you have no like if you don't, if it doesn't matter if you get money or whatnot, then you're sort of far less like, because it was sort of like that, like becoming succeeding and getting, making it profitable and getting real popular. That was a massive motivator. So I'm like, go 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 go. But then if you don't have that pressure, you're like, I could just do another video, or I could just go for a walk today. I'll just go for a walk. And then, so then it just doesn't really, versus, yeah. But then the other way is like, if it's still like, then if you're like, oh, well, no, I need to grow my channel, I need to make enough money off it and that, then you can always justify that. You're like, well, I could do a walk, but hey, I could just do one more video. I could just do one more video, just do one more video. And then both mindsets just can lead to just either, well, I don't need to get the money, so therefore I'm not going to make a video, or, well, I might as well just do it because what's one walk? And then it becomes what's 2 walks, what's 3 walks, what's like a year worth of walking, and then it's like, no. So both of them, but both of them, then you have the capacity in both cases to, well, what's a walk? Actually, no, a walk matters. I need to keep healthy and fit while I do this. And also like I could go on a walk even though I've already been on a walk today. Oh no, but actually, I really do want to grow my channel. It's important to me. So both of them you can. Yeah, but I just tended to drift towards the extremes of, well, I'll just keep doing more and more content, like I won't organize any other social events. It's just like content all day, every day, or just, don't really feel like streaming today sort of thing. So it's like, I got a good routine going in like March 2021 with risk streams, but yeah. So that's sort of I don't really know where I sort of ended up on that. Still sort of like, yeah, I was so enthused back in the day covering these different things. So enthused covering them, and sort of strange looking back. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, so I guess I'll somewhat come to end it there. Because I don't know, I sort of said most of what I wanted to say throughout the whole thing. It was a long thing. Why were you banned? And welcome to the stream. Lynn, hello. I'm just getting near to the end of this. I do read chat, yeah, with some intervals, indeed. Coffee Gamer, I just realized that's you, but upside down. Got 2 on Twitch and 3 on YouTube and that. Boom. So we've got live dashboard this year. Oh, that was some there. Logan is down. I repeat, Logan is down. Boom. So yeah, that sort of is where I'd sort of 17 likes. There we go. Leave it at. I've sort of said most of what I wanted to say throughout it and that. So it's like, I don't know. It's sort of it's the ban really affected it. Like, my channel, as you can see by the analytics, it totally wrecked it. And yeah, and then it's sort of the motivation of, well, I don't want to do this all again if I can just get banned again, and there's no reassurance, I haven't got any contacts now. And also, even if I did, it's sort of like, I just don't even know if I want to be part of something that treats people like that. And even if I had a contact and they wouldn't treat me like that, it's like, well, they could just treat other people like that, and that's wrong. So it's like, I just wish it wasn't like this, and it doesn't have to be like this. YouTube didn't used to be like this. I mean, when I've been covering it, I think it always has been, but although I think it's got worse in many regards in that. But yeah, it's a shame. It's really a shame in that, and so it's sort of sad, all the content that I could have created for the last year that I didn't end up creating. Yet there's the good of then, well, there's the good of, well, I got all the other stuff done in life that I got done, but then there's the shame. And yeah, so then those ones did release, and that they were scheduled from 2 years ago. I wonder what would have happened. Yeah, I think I've mentioned this before. If they'd scheduled, especially if I did one, it's like, because I thought of doing this one. I was like, okay, when you're watching this, I will be dead in that. Every year I reschedule it another year out of that, but one day I'll end up dying. So I thought that I'd make this video and then just say a whole heap of stuff in that. But then if I got banned and then when I got unbanned, it automatically released. Then yeah. Anyway, but that didn't end up happening because this was. Or did it? No, it wasn't far off though. It wasn't far off. If I had decided not, because I was almost not going to do them, but then I thought, you know what, I'll do it. But my thoughts have been like so all over the show and that, like covering all sorts. I must have actually, that must have been a video that I released. I did release a video after all. Wow, I did release a video after all. Since been banned, but not really. Not really. That was sort of the last proper one. Oh, and that one. But yeah, so it's sort of crazy sort of looking at like the game reviews that's going to start and all this sort of just random stuff. So that was then I'd moved on from covering the Fortly bots and all that kind of stuff. I had been doing that, but I stopped doing that. I was just covering these ones, doing one of them a night. That was kind of fun. But I wasn't doing that much content because it had the pneumothorax, so it was... Oh, so I decided to stop doing that. They didn't actually get that many views, but they had the capacity to, like that Gonburgers one did, and was even featured in Leafy's thing. That was crazy. But some of them would, because like if they commented on heaps of channels and that ranked first, and I was the first one to cover it, then heaps of people would find the video, as was shown with the Gonburgers video. But yeah, it's sort of like, oh, just the creativeness. I loved that. That was one thing that was good for me with YouTube and that, especially if it became a job and that. I could be so creative and coming up with all these different ideas and all that, and yeah, it's sort of so many ideas that would have existed but don't because I got banned. And it's sort of like, I just don't want to really I don't want to, that's the problem, I don't want to do it on YouTube again, but then there's no real alternative that will actually, I could do it on Rumble, but it's sort of like, YouTube is the one that is just, there's so much potential for growth, yet the other thing I said was true, that for most people, there's not much room for growth in that, but of the platforms that you can grow, YouTube, there's a lot of room for, like, there's a big audience, so it is possible to do it, but, YouTube is the one that that would be the one you target, so it's sort of like, if you don't do it on that. So I could try it on Rumble and that, but I probably just... But then, yeah, I mean, it didn't even... I know I was still getting a few comments on that. Some of those other ones I was only getting 4. But... Yeah, sort of like, I'd probably do it on Rumble and then just have, like, virtually no views on a heap of them and be like, well, no one's... Because the thing is, if people don't watch it then, especially the ones where, like... Well, most of them, actually. Like, for example, like, things about... all these ones were only that watching them in that day would make sense. Oh, I mean, the odd person historically, but most people it's just then and there, and then it's just done. Or like all these changes that YouTube's made. Like, did you see that YouTube's done this or that? And then like people aren't going to watch those back because the updates, and then yeah, it just doesn't. That's crazy. That's the first time, and I've ended up playing a lot of since then. But all those updates ones wouldn't make sense to watch either. So it's sort of like I don't really know. Then what? Yeah, I don't know. And then if I was just getting no views on like all these Rumble ones, it'd be like, well, I don't know, because it is an effort to put it up. And if you get like if you get like a few views, like 200 and 300 views, I don't know. It's sort of like kind of still feels a bit like no views, but it sort of is some. It's just, I don't really know. I just really don't know. Sort of, because it's like, I want to continue that, but then I don't. It's sort of hard to do with the knowledge that I've missed like a year worth of ideas. That's why it's like, if I started on a new one, and Rumble's kind of new, although not properly new, but then it's like, yeah, but I don't think Rumble would do well. So in terms of like me doing these types of videos on it. So I'm sort of really unsure. I just really don't know. I'm just really unsure what to sort of do about it, the situation, and yeah, the ban really sort of permanently changed. Well, course of my life, actually. I mean, but the thing is, everything does that in a minute effect, but like I'd say significantly. Not like insanely significantly, but it certainly had. Well, it's changed how I've spent like the last 2 years of my life. Well, the band did. Like, I then wasn't spending doing YouTube-related things. I mean, occasionally I still watch YouTube videos, but yeah, I don't know. So I don't know what the takeaway was from this whole thing, actually. I sort of said a whole heap of things that I wanted to say throughout the whole stream, but I can't sort of think of a summary thing other than I would love to sort of do that type of thing again, and it's sort of, because it makes me sad how much things have, like just how it's gone, and I would love to be doing that sort of thing again, covering updates, but at the same time, I don't really want to do it on YouTube because I can just get banned again, and I still don't like how YouTube's treating people. But on the other hand, I don't know where else I would do it. I mean, Rumble would be the next best option I want to do it on, but then I still don't think that it's really big enough to. And I've tried in the past of telling people, oh, move to Rumble and that, move to Rumble, I'll be on Rumble and that, but like very few people do. Like I think less than 1%. Well, 1%. No, I think because 1% would be 300. I think less than zero. So of my 33,000 I think it's. That's like half. Like that's half of. Yeah, that's like 1 in 2,000 people. That's a lot of rumbles. That's more than views. I don't know how that works, but that's 1 in 2,000 people of my. Well, that's all messed up and glitched, and they did that. That was a few days back. So yeah, it's very hardly anyone actually does that. So it's not a very effective way. Yeah, I would love to do the 24/7 streams again, but again, that is quite high cost to do. And it's also another thing where, like on YouTube, it's on there for ages before it actually takes off. So you can't really just sort of, it doesn't, yeah. You have to then commit to it and just put it on there and then leave it for ages. And then eventually, so you have to sort of do it for a month. So invest like $100 for the first month. It gets like hardly anything, and then it starts to take off. But you don't know if it's going to take off. So these other ones that you will invest heaps in, and they'll just never take off. So waiting for this to. So that's lifetime though. Oh, since published then. Oh, that's not helpful. Why has that got reach? Oh, that's since unbanned or something. Engagement. Oh, I can't really then get a good one. Maybe this year is a somewhat reflection, so sort of didn't really start sort of taking off more to based on the chat till like sort of there. But by that time I had up for like 1,500 hours of just like not really much. And then it sort of then started taking off. So you sort of, yeah, it's sort of, you have to commit, and that's like real expensive. So it's sort of like, I don't know. But then again, even with 24/7 streams, still got the issue that YouTube just takes them down. So I really just need to do my own website, but then to like do a proper, like an actual, I don't just want to sort of like just try, like you have to, especially with that, if you just sort of try it like a cheap $5 Wix website or whatever, with a few keywords or whatnot, it's just not going to show up. People are not going to find it, and you're just going to stream there for like months, and then it's like, well, no one actually found it. Because it's really hard these days to, because just like with YouTube, the top YouTubers get like all the views, and the top few websites will get most of the views. So, so you need to like have a really properly super SEO'd one that was really professional and couldn't just get DDoS attacked or hacked or whatnot. So, and then that would cost a heap as well. So it's sort of just cost is a massive factor, and doing a proper 24/7 thing. And then if I did that, I want to then actually store the data, because it'd be real interesting. So I would love to make like a Social Blade equivalent as well. That'd be epic, and then collect data on Rumble and Getter and all these other platforms. That would be great. But that would cost a heap as well. Just like if you were to store all this data and you're streaming in like 1080p, I've calculated it, and it costs heaps of money. And so it's like, I haven't got heaps of money to do a project like that. So 24/7 streams is sort of out, other than I do it on YouTube again, but I haven't got a lawyer, I haven't got YouTube connections. They can just get removed after like been up for months, and then, or just even if it's just up for 2 weeks and then remove it. Such a pain. Like it just resets the whole stream. And it's just so, that's why I'm like, I was good at doing 24/7 streams. I had a heap of good ideas. I had a list of ideas in that. But it's like, it's just not, it's just ridiculous if YouTube just removes them. Just like, oh, well, we're just going to, and also the cost to keep them all going was extensive. And they have potential to earn a lot of money back, but you have to have a big initial cost investment, and I haven't got that money to invest in doing it. So that there's sort of kind of off the table. So I could have 1 or 2 of them going, like this one again, and see how it turns out. But it is I don't like having my personal computer that's probably starting to get pretty worn down as it is, and then just keep it like maxed out at 100% CPU strain on it, like just day after day after day for like weeks, keeping it going for like 90 days or whatever. I don't want to do that. Not really. And so then it's like, well, if I don't do them, then the other option is to then do the other ones where I like have like these review these ones again, but I just don't. I don't want to be doing these ones on YouTube. Well, I could upload them to YouTube, but I'd want to be uploading them to other ones as well. I don't know. There's just not. There is a potential for there to be an audience in that, but I don't. And I think that potential is more on YouTube because it's like, hey, look, there's this bot that's commenting. Oh, look, we'll look that up. But on Rumble, I just don't think that would have the same impact. Like most people on Rumble, I'd say, is very specific things they're looking for in that because YouTube's got like most things, like basically everything, whereas Rumble hasn't, and people aren't just gonna look up like. They're just far less likely, and the amount of people that did would be far less to just look up these random things or Rumble's changed their thing. I just don't see it working on Rumble. And then it's sort of like, well, then what am I left with? What content do I make? I mean, I can do game review. That is one option, but it's like I don't really know what to do. Manak, welcome to the stream. Tell me who you are. I don't remember subscribing to you. Yeah, I don't know who you are either. I've done heaps of 24/7 streams, probably for one of them. Yeah, it's that because and I'd bought computers as well, literally, but they're not like they're sort of like second-hand i5s or whatnot, which I was then started. I had started streaming. Yeah, I'd started using them. Even in that. Yeah, in one of the streams. In one of the videos. Then I had like one of the tabs of the company that I bought it from. Bought some computers from but they're not gaming level computers. And sort of they've just been sort of just not in use anymore. But so I'd seriously invested in this 24/7 thing, like getting those computers and just in my channel in general. I just spent so much money and so much time. Yes, because the whole point was not the whole point, but like the idea was that like Mr. Beast is doing. But in Mr. Beast's case, it worked out brilliantly. In my case, it's just utterly backfired and screwed. Because I'd spent because I will have missed out on thousands and thousands of dollars for all that time that I was banned, and who knows, I could have just gone absolutely viral with one of those videos in that time of months, just on existing content that then wasn't destroyed with the ban, and then that that stream could have just, because it was going more and more and more, and it could have just started getting 100,000 views a day, and my channel just goes and I get to like 100,000 subscribers, and that I'll never know what will happen. And yeah, time can't go back, so that's done. But all the money I'd invested in the Google ads and all, so basically just invested all the money I made straight back into it. So like just keep investing, because the idea was then, and one day when I just want to take like a big break for like 3 months or whatever, or just stop YouTube altogether, I'll have got so much growth in my channel. I've invested so much. I've built up such an audience that like that the existing content, by that time, thousands, like it's currently 1.5 thousand videos, but by the time I stopped, it could have been like 5,000 videos or whatever. There'll be so much to go in for it that it will just like go and just keep getting revenue for like ages, like over a year. Like ZD has made his channel so big that he just uploads all sorts of random content, and it's fine. His channel still works really well. Like he just does game reviews and all sorts. Why can't I click anymore? Why is that not doing that? Pro ZD. His channel's just so big that it just like I mean, he still obviously uploads, but even if he stopped, he'd just keep getting so many views. Like he's just doing all, and he was like, very few people actually do it, where they're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna upload everything that I want to upload. But yeah, he just all sorts, just random game review, podcast, all sorts of stuff. I love it. But his channel has so many existing videos that are so popular. 21 million views, 90 million views, 70 million views, 60 million views, 40 million, that he just keeps going totally fine in that. And I was trying to get my channel to, it's like 1 billion views. I was trying to get my channel to a point where it would do that. And it was getting more and more towards that being the thing. But now it's just gone. And so I've missed out on huge amount of growth, it's just tragic. And all this income all this money I invested into it, so then it's sort of that $10,000, then is a bit more including the other stuff, is sort of like just I just had reinvested basically all of it, or potentially all of it plus more. I have the financial records and whatnot of it, but I just, yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. So it's been it's so sad because it was like, because then it's effectively like I worked for 3.5 years and didn't get any income, because the idea was with YouTube, it's like you get nothing, tiny bit, and then in the future, then you get heaps more. So for years you'll go for like way less than the average, and then eventually we get way more than the average. But it's sort of, I was just sort of getting to that phase, and then it just sort of banned, and then it's like, oh come on, like I've invested 3.5 years, and then I just don't get the return, because it's just, you killed it right when I was actually getting to the, like, you could see my channel getting 20,000 views a day. It's starting to get to the point, like, it might have taken another 6 months, might have taken 1 more year, might have potentially taken 2 more years or whatnot. I think it would have, within that next year, I was gonna, well, it doesn't mean that in a year I'd hit but it was sort of like a really good growth level in that, but it didn't end up happening, and so I don't really know what to sort of do from here. I'm still undecided in that. There's a lot of different options in life that I could, well, not actually, no, there's not actually, but there's different things I could do. Like, I could return to doing YouTube full time, or I could just try doing what I did on Rumble and that. I could try the 24/7 streams. I don't think I will. I could do game review again, but then again, if I did, then it's like, just doing game review on Rumble was unlikely to prove popular, so really I should be uploading on all of them, but then I don't want to be committing to having to upload a video on a game, like if I did 4 of them a day. Because if I recorded 15 minutes back to back, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour a day, totally doable in that. But then to upload each of them and title each of them and thumbnail all of them, and then if I was going to be uploading them to like 10 different websites, it would just take so long, and then it's like, okay, nah, I'm not up for doing that. But then it's like, if you're going to go for it, you might as well maximize. And like, YouTube is almost better than doing all of them, because they're all so tiny in that. But then if I'm not doing YouTube, I might still do, like, upload to YouTube as well. I don't know yet. If I do it, then it's like, yeah, but then if you, it's just sort of like, so, like, you might as well go for it in that. But then if you're going for it, then it's a big commitment once again, and likely you won't see much returns. So I really don't know. I really don't know. Like, I definitely know that I believe that I had creativity in all these different sorts of types of videos I did, and the potential that I think that I would have eventually got 1 or 2 that just went viral, and then I just double down and do more and more content on that. Like, I did have some videos that went viral, like Yanny Laurel, but you couldn't really double down on that much. I mean, I did Yanny Laurel sped up and slowed down. They got 200,000 views, so it's somewhat doubling down. Well, I mean, that was, but that sort of didn't have a lifespan of content you could make on it that I could see. But that sort of like, these here would have potential in that. Like, and if I had a video about, like, you know, these bots that went really viral in that, like, I mean, 3,500, that was good. But if it like got like 100,000 or 1 million views in that, and then I was like, oh, I can do videos on this every day, and every day like 10,000 people return it, but like, yo, I've just got a beautiful niche right here. So some people do it, like Timeworks does great videos, the Tech It Realm does great videos in that. They're like quite clever, complicated videos in my opinion in that. But yeah, it's sort of like, and he's had a niche with doing the Guinness World Records videos. That's a really smart idea. So what do we got? We got Timeworks. He does all sorts of different clever ideas. Wow, this just in the last 2 months. Man, he used to do less videos, I think. Wow. Original. Surely not. It's probably like just Rickroll. I don't know. This guy came up with heaps of clever ideas in that, and Rickroll, focusing on the Rickroll, or the oldest YouTube video in there. See, and I would have a video like live stream. Just 2 ideas. I thought of these before. So that was a year ago when, see, 1.1 million views on there. And I did sort of things like that, like this baby shark versus there's first world population, but different things like it. So yeah. But I could do a live stream on the oldest viewed video, most like how many views and etc. what it had, or I could have done the most the views and likes count of the Rickroll thing, and just have stats on all these different top videos. And that, again, it costs a lot of money to do it properly and do it well. So use sub bots, and it was just lots of different creative ideas that he did. Crazy history of Facebook. And then the other guy, the Technit. The Techit realm. Oh, there it goes. He did also very creative videos in that. And so, I mean, but the thing is, I could do like ones that were sort of, weren't the same as theirs, but they sort of were different, interesting ones. Like his creativeness was insane. Oh, that was 9 months ago. They talked about it and that. And like a channel that uploads all that. Like really clever, cool videos. I mean, I don't watch most of them, but they were interesting. Yeah, I watched a heap of them back here. This was a year ago or whatnot that I was watching these. So 2015, last good year, that was a very interesting video. That one there, I was gonna do a live stream of how many likes, and I reckon that would have been real popular. Like when I did Mr. Beast video, most like video that had lots. My ideas are still absolutely there. I'm just in unsurety as what to do. It's just I just don't know what to do in terms of like. Because I mean, a lot of these are stream ideas and that, but then to do the streaming properly costs a lot of money, and I ended up spending thousands on the streaming, which ended up failing for a multitude of reasons and that. Like, there was a few different reasons why that happened and that. Like, one of the things is why I got banned. So that channel, that video, the stream that was at 500,000 views just ended in that. Then there's the nonsense of YouTube taking them down. Then there's, there was just different reasons why that just didn't work. See, this one here, but I actually did a stream on that was real popular, 50,000 views. I think on 2 different streams because it cut in the middle. But yeah, then it's expensive to then keep it going. I don't know, I'm just so torn because I have so many ideas that have so much potential. But then again, it's like, do I even want to, like, I could just hope, like, if I could morph that idea potential into actual, like, life things, like, that would be a better use of my mind. If that was possible, like, well, political issues or life issues, or I don't know, well, the political one is just like, the thing is, heaps of people have dedicated heaps of time to thinking about it, and they end up with opposite conclusions. Like, even people with very high IQs end up on the opposite side of the, like, because otherwise, if everyone that was, like, really high IQ, or everyone that was really wise, thought about stuff, well, no, actually, no, but then the wise thing, then the wise is, well, subjective, I'd say the wise people would end up on the same side, but the IQ thing, for example, if the IQ was the ultimate measure of, well, that's how it works, then all of the high IQ people would end up on the same side, but that hasn't happened. So, it's just, it's just like, that was just like, I mean, I obviously think about it, like, a reasonable amount, but it's like, but so I don't know, but it's like, how could I could potentially morph this creativeness in a helpful ways or whatnot, but I mean, because it's not unhelpful for me to be doing all these different ideas and all these different interesting topics and that, but there would be better ways to, that was the really interesting one. But I don't know, so it's sort of like, but then if I want to do it in streams, again, that's the money thing is a big issue, because to properly do it, because I was doing it sort of not properly in the sense of, well, I didn't really have them backed up much, and so then if it cut out, then I'd just lose the stream, and it'd be like, oh, and you can't just sort of just flick it back on. I mean, you can, but then it's like lost all the stats, which it takes months to build up a presence, so it was like, it's just would be really expensive to, like, properly do it. So, and there's sort of, I mean, a lot of things in life, and it cost is a barrier to entry. But and because otherwise then people could just try it, and then if it works out, then, but the thing is, no, you have to upfront put up heaps of money, and so therefore most people can't do it, because then even if they were to make it work, and then to get the money back, they would have paid it off, they don't have their original money to make it work, so it's like this, you're caught. So I sort of tried to make it work, and I got a 500,000 views for a stream. That, I'd say that's a viral stream. I consider that a win. But even though I only made $58, considering I spent well over $58 to have it going, but then if it started getting, like, it kept getting 20,000 views every day, or moved up to get 100,000 views every day, or, then it would start to, like, probably pay itself off, and then it would start to, like, make heaps. But yeah, deliberately not getting the joke. But yeah, as you can see, I'm torn. How to stream a live stream for a year. So yeah, there's a lot of good content out there, and I have a lot of ideas that I still had from then, and new ideas I'd easily get. But then it's like, and so then it's like, the stream ones are expensive, so then I could just do, like, making short videos on them. But then it's like, do I do them on YouTube? Well, if my channel's still screwed, then it won't work anyway. But even if it wasn't, then I'm still torn on supporting YouTube. like by putting videos on there when they're treating people the way they are. But then it's like I could do it on Rumble, but then that likely won't work. So it's like, what do I do? What do I do? Or do I just give up the whole thing? Which I'm seriously considering that. And again, it's not like oh well, yeah, like I legit think that could be just the best decision just to move on. But it's like it seems such a like waste when I had this potential, this capacity, and I was actually doing a reasonable job of what I was doing, even though I hadn't struck it like high. Like, I mean, obviously I'd got a 2 billion viewed video on the Yanny Laurel, but as in with these other genres, but I reckon it was just a matter of time before I had a niche, and then it was like, boom, we are away. Like, because I knew how SEO worked, and how I reckon I knew well more than the average person on YouTube in terms of optimizing SEO with title and all that kind of stuff, and description and types of videos to do. But yeah, now I'm sort of at a loss to know what the best step forward is. Do I just stop it? Do I start it up again? But if I start it up again, do I do it on YouTube? Do I do just game review? Do I do game review and try and do these creative, like talking about changes and that for just Rumble? Or do I talk about changes on YouTube and upload that to Rumble? Or do I do these 24/7 streams and just try one of them? I just really don't know. I'm really unsure. It's sort of hard looking back at the past, thinking like it was working, it was really starting to happen, and it's like, so if it did happen, it could definitely happen again if I put enough effort into it. Maybe I just have to do it on your YouTube channel, which I don't really want to do, or then try it on Rumble instead. But I just think that Rumble doesn't have enough audience to really make it work. And then it's just like, what? Even with all these videos, it says I'm monetized, I'm still not making money. So it's sort of, I don't know. I mean, I think Rumble pays more to the people it pays. It pays more per 1,000 views than YouTube, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. Certain topics get your videos banned or hidden. Yeah, hate to see you disappear. Yeah, and I'm not just gonna disappear overnight in that. Like, I think I'd still cover streams in that. I don't know, because then it's like, well, then I could, like, could I do a stream, like, stream or videos about autism potentially? But then I think probably not, and that's a very different tack to what I've currently been going. And then again, it's just the YouTube issue. That is, I'd say that's probably the main issue. Because then, well, the YouTube issue, like, not just being YouTube itself treating people badly, but also then their issue of having like ban, even if let's say that we exclude the ban in that, and let's say that, but then it's like, do they restore my channel to where it was, and then getting, like, I was obviously not going to get that many views, but even just like, I'm certain that it's been deranked in the algorithm, or there's just no way it would get that few views. It couldn't get that few views. It was that if they hadn't deranked it, I don't think. But if like YouTube started, the problem is it's not going to happen. Like, even if it did, like, it's not. That's the problem. So even if the YouTube thing worked out and suddenly they treat people well and they're very responsive and helpful in chat, and they stop demonetizing videos that are suitable for advertisers and are family friendly, they stop just removing streams and it's sort of like, I can't even consider that an option, because it's clearly not an option. It's just not going to happen. So then it's like, okay, well, then remove YouTube improving. Then do I upload on YouTube at all? And then it's like, well, maybe not. But it's just so stressful and awful dealing with it and that. But then it's like, well, then, okay, well, what's the alternative to YouTube? Either then I just stop altogether, or I try another one. And it's like, well, which one? Or Rumble. But then it's like, I just don't think that this has the potential to, like, go viral on Rumble. Rumble's got potential for sure, and I really want it to work. Why are they not loading? But it's sort of, and the live thing is, I would do live streaming on Rumble, but then they've just got like a limit, like they've got a price thing where you can only have a certain amount of storage or whatnot. Why is this website doing this? But yeah, vlogs. I wouldn't be doing vlogs. Entertainment. How to not get deplatformed in 2022. I better watch that one. Yeah, so I don't know. I just don't know. And as you know, in light of everything else I've said this stream, there's a lot of thoughts I have on what to do and what not to do. I don't know. I don't know what my niche is. Like, I feel like this here and like this next one here, I was starting to get to my niche and covering these things. I was starting to get to a niche that could potentially, but I didn't prove it worked because I didn't get quite popular enough to prove it works. But I reckon I would have, and I think it would have worked. But it's like, I don't know what to do, and I could do these games again, new games, and try and find another game that will then work out, and then I could build up a good relationship with a dev. So, but I don't know. I don't know. It's sort of like annoying concluding something with just basically Actually, I really don't know. But that's sort of, I was thinking about today. I definitely didn't think about it for 2.5 hours. I thought for like maybe 30 to 60 minutes. And I was sort of thinking about like when I got banned, was I going heaps? And I was not, but before the pneumothorax I was. And then I was still doing content when I got banned. And it's sort of like looking back, it's like, oh man, it was kind of cool doing that. But then it's like, I don't know if I don't think I will do it again. But I want to do it again. But as if it's just going to continue with the same YouTube nonsense, I don't want to do it again on YouTube. And it is the same nonsense. So, yeah. I just don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. And I still haven't decided. I'm still undecided. But I mean, it has been a year and a half. Well, it's been a year. Oh, no. It's been half a year since I got unbanned. And I'm still like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I like make a return and just. It's just I don't want. It's just I would love to, but YouTube's still so broken as I described in the stream earlier that it's just like I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do that. And so I was like, well then don't. It's like, but then I still want to use those like my mind that was coming up with all these ideas to like do it. And it's like I can do it on Rumble, but I just don't think it will have nearly the same. And then it's like, then should I put all my eggs in Rumble in case that didn't work? I think Rumble is safe, but then I used to think YouTube was safe. So I don't know. I really don't know. So I don't like leaving streams or videos with an unsure thing. I normally, like most of them, have a point. Like, this here is the data of this, and this here is what's happened here. But then there's occasionally it's like, I don't know the answer to. Yeah, what is the point of this stream? Well, I'm glad I did it. I sort of was in the mindset of it, so I'm like, let's just do it, so it's done. I think I'll end it about now. I've said basically what that I wanted to say. Yeah. Sort of in different parts. I sort of was all over the show, but I sort of basically said what I want to say. Yeah. Basically said what I want to say. So that's YouTube. That's Rumble. It's not currently showing. That's actually a few. So but 17 subscribers. Like, I appreciate the 17 of you that subscribed. But as in, I'd need way more growth in order for. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. It's like, what sort of content do I do? Do I even become a YouTube? Like, the thing is, if I do it, I want to do stuff like that. It's not like I'm like, because it's sort of like being a YouTuber / Rumbler. It's sort of like, I'd actually kind of prefer not to do that or whatnot. But if it isn't something that I'm existing in and know enough about and somewhat enjoy, like gaming or the 24/7 live streams or the sort of covering all these different, every time they do little updates and just talking about that a little bit, news sort of things, those are 3 categories that if I would be happy to do those. But then the 24/7 stream ones is sort of a cost reliant one, so I think that's sort of kind of out of the picture, especially on Rumble, since there's like this limit of how much stuff you can have, unless you delete the stream, but I definitely don't want to be doing that. So then that's out, so then it's either gaming or news updates and that. Now, I don't really know how much Rumble sort of changes things. It seems almost so much more simplistic, like, sort of just like video section, like, I don't know, it's just like with YouTube, like, just the stats thing, like, there's just all of these things and all sorts of settings among all these different things. Like, you go to analytics and then they've got like a tab that then it has all these tabs and all these tabs and how it displays this, how it shows all these things, and then amongst that tab you've got another tab, which then you've got another tab, which then has more information down here, which then you can see more of, and it's just sort of, there's just so much stuff in all the settings. It feels like there's a lot more to talk about. And sort of more stuff changes, because if you have like 1,000 things and something has 10 things, the thing that has 1,000 things, if they're both like making changes, it's far more likely that those things, because it's like one of those other things will change. Whereas Rumble was sort of like there's a lot less to change, and I don't want to be like a channel that's sort of like a commentary channel or what do they call, spill the tea channel or whatever, where you sort of just like talking about other channels. Like, my news thing and not talking about other channels. That's not, I mean, obviously the bot things was, but I don't consider them a thing. Like, as in a person of a channel. Like, whereas, like, I sort of would then want to cover news things, but I'd feel like there wouldn't be that much to actually cover on here. Like, I guess I could do tutorials on, like, how to upload on. I could actually do a few Actually, I could just try it. I could just do like 5 videos on Rumble and see how they go. How to upload a video on Rumble, how to live stream on Rumble. That could actually work quite well. I actually might do that. There we go. Well, that's something positive that I've decided that I could well do. Anakin, welcome. I'll be watching back. Hokey doke, Lynn. Well, thank you guys for being part of the stream. That is going to wrap it up, basically. I'll probably be a few more minutes by the time I've finished it. Although it's not gaming, so it's not really quite the same. What do we got? We got, oh, that thing's popped up now. Well, we got the headset. Boom, boom. So, yeah. So, thank you to the platforms that allow me to stream on you. For Twitch, Nemo TV, YouTube, Freaky TV, DLive, Facebook, Rumble, Mobcrush, Twitter, and Trovo. Thank you to yourself for the camera. And OBS for the free streaming software. And 24times.com for the time below. I will get up the people on here. Monetization. Memberships. I really want, like, I thought of, like, when Rumble, like, I was like, I'd love to, like, actually work for Rumble and create, like, help forms for all these questions, because there was all sorts of things that I didn't really understand that I wish that there'd been help forms for. And I was sort of, the monetization program, they way need to level up that. It's just, like, a really, very unclear, just, even the whole analytics section, which is huge, it's just, like, useless. Like, in my opinion, it's just useless. It's just, like, not helpful. Like, it's just really not. It's like, it's just this, like, just the default page is just useless. Like, this just doesn't show me absolutely anything other than, oh yeah, it's still not working, the money thing, and I don't know why, because I'm monetized. And even if you, like, switch it to, like, if you press views, it still just doesn't show anything in that. So then you have to come over here and do things and then like click apply or whatever. But then it's on publisher versus creator or combined, and then it's confusing because there's like a main account and they need to improve this. They really do. And I mean, I've sent them suggestions and they kind of reacted well, like in the email, but they didn't implement them. And it's like, if there's a good reason not to, they don't need to. But I don't think there was a good reason, like, not to fix up the incorrect upload button, which has, like, missing a different codec that they do support and duplicating one 3 times. There's no reason not to fix that. Anyway, I think Rumble does have potential, and I really hope it succeeds. But, yeah, we'll see. No, it's memberships here. Oh, they've changed the list. Membership levels. Oh, they've got, like... I did a video ages ago about that, which was kind of cool. Hey, yo! We've got... Thank you, Digital Navigator, Zed. A day ago. Thank you for becoming a member. They've made it now that you can donate just on normal videos, I saw. Like a video that you can just press help and donate. So, because we dropped one just the other day. Boom. Down to 7. So then did we go up one? 23 months! So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, so we dropped... Oh, this guy must have changed his name. I can't remember what his name was. Oh, that's real colourful. Oh, it shows what tier they're at. Oh, that's real cool. See, I could make a video on that. Like, did you know that YouTube... I don't know, I just... Creative Studio did a bit about that, but I loved doing those. We update things. So, thank you and welcome, Digital Navigator. And to Lynn on your 3 accounts, thank you. And you're almost there for the 24 months. That's awesome. Thank you to Josh Weiner. Thank you to FazeCast. And to Igus. I can't remember who that was. They'll have, potentially. Woolrock Bug. What game is... Oh, that game! Hated Pop. Oh, that was so... I could figure it out looking back at the old ones anyway. Thank you guys for being members of the channel. There's a link there. Oh, the comments by members. Boom, boom. Merchandise. Most videos. I haven't looked at this actually. Which ones have I not? Well, is that like of all videos in history? YouTube rating. Oh, that's both, I see. YouTube rating, limited ads. Probably say. Oh, so we beg to differ on this. What was it? What was this problem with this? automate. Oh, they actually show that. What even is the issue with that? Can't click on it from here. Is that the only one? What? Well, we'll request a review on that. Yep. And then they should say you've rated all videos accurately. But then there's 2 other streams. Why is this not clicking? There we go. Content. Do you want to see the stream? The stream I was talking about? Oh, we had trouble saving your videos. Bother. Oh, what? See, even this one's demonetized. You joking me? They've identified it as not suitable for advertisers. Not suitable. Okay, what part of this stream is it not suitable for advertisers? See, this is so dumb. They say, oh no, well, if you mark them accurately, then then we'll try. No, you don't, flippin'. You just keep doing that. It's so stupid. So stupid. Anyway, monetization. Limited. What is that one limited for? That one's limited. That one's limited. Those ones actually had copyright. Those ones, and then these risk ones have it. This one. Look at them all. Look at them all. Oh, that was because what was that cause of? I think there's. Anyway, I think it was because there was one that one of those songs. Was it NCS? I can't remember. Here, this one here. 18th of August. No, it wasn't even late August. So they had that. How many? That's so long. This one is still pending review. Still pending review. Where is it? Monetization. This video is being reviewed to determine whether it's suitable. Yeah, how long has it been? Oh yeah, 2 flippin' years. That's insane. So I could figure out I'm gonna figure out the dates. So detail. I don't know though because it's that date. I'm not sure if it's the start or the end. We'll assume that it's the end. The 18th of August. Yeah, it is that it does it at the end. So it was actually like a day or so before that. So 18th of August. So time between 2 dates. Let's have a gander. Let's see how long this actually is. Boom. So we got the 18th. It was actually like an extra day than this. Of August 2000. Oh, it's not even listed as a date. Start date 2019. And include end date. Yeah, that's today. Today. How many days? 878 days. So it's been 2 years, 4 months and 25 days that's been under review for. 28 months and 25 days. Oh, here we go. We got a whole heap of options. It's been 240.55% of a common year, 125 weeks and 3 days, 878 days, 21,072 hours, 1,264,320 minutes. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, or 75 million seconds. 859,200 seconds. So give it like another 4 months, and it will have been over 1,000 days. 1 million minutes. 1 million minutes. They've had. It would have taken them less than an hour to. Oh wait, no. I guess if they watched the whole thing, but then it's their system that's marked it wrong, so they just check it for that wrong thing that they'd marked it as, and be like, oh, it's not wrong. But I think it's because they haven't saved it. So 21,000 hours. 21,000 hours. That's how long they've had. 21,072 hours. Although then minus like 24 because it's not the full day. It's only been like 2 hours of today. If it counts today, yeah, it is. So 21,000 hours. 1 million minutes. They've had 1 million minutes. And they said the last time I asked that it's still under review. I think that was like 3 months after. It was like 3 months after or like a year after. I think it was like 3 months. No, well, it has to be like, it was in 2020 because that was when they gave the nonsense. This is, you know, due to the pandemic. It's like, oh, really? That's why you haven't reviewed it. But let's say, oh, actually, look, it was before the pandemic that this happened. And you've had weeks before. You've had days before to review this. Like, yeah, so that's, yeah, I'm going to snapshot this. So we've got a, yeah, then we'll have this cool copy of it. So then we can see that they've had 1 million minutes to review this stream. That it's just like, it's, why not just do it? It literally would just do it, just to prove it. It's not unfamily friendly. Seriously. It's wrong. It's been wrongly marked for 2 years. For 1 million minutes, I've had an incorrectly marked video from 34,567 minutes. 2022 wrongly marked video stream by YouTube. Save, and then we'll add this as an image. Pictures. There we go. There it is. There it is. They've had 1 million minutes. 1 million minutes to do this. And they still haven't done it. 20,000 hours. They still haven't done it. Oh, now it doesn't show the chat there. Okay, we'll just do that. Exit that. Live stream. iRoG, welcome to the stream. Mr. Hunter, welcome to the stream. Wouldn't hurt to try. That is confusing. Yeah, my main account will hit 2 in 3 weeks. Let's go. Good grief. And NCS is so unreliable. Yeah, I used to think they were safe. Yeah, they're absolutely not. And the sad thing is, probably, like, I think 90% plus of the people that have sung for NCS or do music for NCS are fine. Like, they legitimately are never going to cause problems in that. But then there's like, and it will be over 90% that are like that. There's just a small fraction of them that, well, no, but then there's a lot of abuse from other people and that. But I think that those creators should then copyright their songs or whatnot, so that other people on YouTube can't have them copyright claimed. But then there was a couple of creators that left YouTube or something, like they left NCS, and then suddenly the status of their video is no longer non-copyright, and suddenly like people getting all these copyright claims, like Nova Ahirix, that happened. That was like, then all these people getting claims. I don't even know if that was I don't think it was intentional, but it just totally screwed. Yeah, it was not reliable. The Fat Rat, very reliable. I've never had a single issue with the Fat Rat. None. All those have been fine. But the NCS just, and the thing is, you just have one stream, one song out of like an 8-hour stream, and boom, the whole stream is claimed. You can mute it now, which I would just do, but that would be annoying to then just mute like that 3 minutes audio. Just browsing YouTube and I was bored and checked my subscriptions tab, which don't notice. There we go. Well, welcome to the stream. Do you remember why you subscribed? Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. I wonder what got you to sub a game at 24/7. Because yeah, there's so many people that wouldn't remember anymore. Well, especially since they got 2,000 subscribers from that stream. Like, yeah, there's no way they'd remember. I mean, it was like a year and a half ago that they might have just, on one day, they just like think, oh, this is cool. This like is a live count of like the top viewed videos. We'll subscribe. And then like a year and a half later, they see me streaming. They're like, who the hang is this? Ban. So yeah, so anyway, that's the under review, still under review. That was real cool that they took off. Still under review that long later. I've got quite a few that are 45 streams, which is no small amount. Like, it's really not a small amount. Like, some of them are legitimate, like these ones are legitimate. But there's also some that are not legitimate. I think most of these are not legitimate, because, like, pretty sure I thought these had gone away. These were the NCS ones, I think. See details. Oh no, it's that pirate dude. Oh, and Distant Reach. Did I play Distant Reach in that one? Sad, good lad. Yeah. No, these ones were not supposed to be. Yeah, no. I talked to literally the person, like the staff, a staff member at the company of SMG, and they said no, I have permission to do these. But the thing is, in order to like appeal it, you then have to then like give your full name and all that, which then goes to the people that, and then they get to decide whether it's, yeah, the Fat Rat did a video on it, and it was insane, the YouTube process. Yeah, someone stole the song that has millions of views. Yeah, I mean, and it's like, it seems like, how are you done with your criticisms of YouTube? Are you done? You had 3 flipping hours? No, I mean, the whole thing, the whole thing wasn't just a criticism of YouTube. That wasn't even why I actually started it. But then it reminds me of all these reasons why it's been so awful, and it's because of what YouTube's been doing. That's made it so awful in that. But yeah, I mean, and actually, no, I'm not done. I could keep going, but I'm not going to. But yeah. It's just, but you can just realize from that, and I wish I could capture my emotion from in those moments, from in that time, just how so awful it made you feel, just time and time and time and time again of this just utter nonsense, which is just like, just ruin your day. It's just, and I wish you could just feel it, just like all at once. Nah, that honestly, I don't even know how that would work, but it'd just be so painful. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's sort of, I basically covered it. The idea was sort of, I mean, I was wondering what it was like before I was banned, because these days I don't really make much content anymore. So it's like, what was it like back in the day when I was still, you know, in my prime of making content? Well, I mean, I don't know, like what you put as in your prime, because you could say in October 2019 when I was releasing 4 videos a day, was that my prime? It's like, well, kind of in releasing content, sure, but on me, it was sort of like not all healthy for me. 2018, I'd honestly say, was my best YouTube year. 2018 was my best YouTube year. In terms of the like cool things, exciting things that happened, then the growth versus versus time put in that. Because like I reckon in 2017 I put like, let's say, an hour a day in, and then in 2018 I put like 2 hours a day in, and then in no, that's not right. Maybe was it 2 hours, and then 2019 4 hours a day. And maybe it was like started at like in 2017 it was like maybe 2 hours a day. Then 2018 was like 4 hours a day, and then yeah, that would make more sense. And then 2019 was like 8 hours a day for the first half, and then like Rush Wars onwards, it was sort of like, well, it wasn't 16 every day, but some days I'd say I'm pretty sure it was 16 hours. So yeah, but it was a huge amount of time in that, like massive. Well, I mean, especially when I do a 12-hour stream, like even recently or that. But on those days, I wouldn't then do other stuff. But that's still a hang of a long time. So it's between 8 and 16 hours and so it was sort of like double sort of thing. But 2018 was, I reckon, the best year. Like it wasn't my entire life, but at the same time, I had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of success with it, doing Heyday and Battlelands. November, December 2018 was wonderful time. Loved that time. That was probably the 2 best months of YouTube for me. Like, my videos were really popular. It was super fun playing Battlelands. Heyday wise, I was doing really well. I just got my computer in like sort of mid 2018, and so I could like record all this stuff. That was probably the 2 best months. So that's it. I didn't intentionally go talk about positive stuff, but I just happened to come across that. So there was positivity in it. Those 2 months were wonderful months. So I was getting a lot of views. I wasn't spending my entire life on it, but I was having a lot of fun. It was really good. Those months were great. So that was probably my favorite year. So that was sort of, in that regard, that was my prime in that. But again, it's like, it's not like I did anything wrong. And I feel like this, I've mentioned it a while back, but it's just YouTube it gives you this, like, not YouTube as a company or people running it, but just how it's structured, how the algorithm works. It sends you such the wrong message in that. And I mean, even in the present day, you hear of all these people on TikTok doing crazy things. What was another thing that recently was happening on TikTok of these people? What was the video I watched about it? I can't remember, but there's just like people doing, I wish I could remember it now. there's just people doing crazier and crazier things than that. And it was. Oh, I mean, I think it was articles rather than a video, and it's like called like the Daily Dot or something, not Daily Dose, but Daily Dot, and it was like talking about like I think people they're just like blatant dishonesty, like these people, these young people. Oh yeah, no, that was the one. There was someone because there was this thing in there like on the McDonald's, and they're writing the coupon down so they get credited in that, and people just think it's fine, and it's not. But and anyway, then there's the thing they did, like someone if they said if someone's rude to me. And then they just like got like if there's like someone's rude to me, this I think it was someone at McDonald's, and then they put the ice cream in and then put like ice in it and then gave it back to them. And so it's like, oh, you're putting ice in that, and then someone commented like the things people do for views and all that. But it really is. It's like I totally get why people do it, but it's such an unhealthy structure. Like it's like people are just so desperate for views in that. Like they just do basically anything for views. Like there's the YouTuber that got like shot because like they had like there's a book there and it was a prank, but then the bullet went through and they're dead. And it's like, what the heck? Like, but it sort of like makes so much sense. Like, it's not surprising at all that people do this. They're just so desperate to be successful, and especially if in their life, most people or no one in their life shows them like love or shows that they actually truly care about them, and just like neglect them and just like, well, you've done bad at school, so it's just there's a lot of people out there like that. Well, not necessarily lots, but even it's just like 1%. That's millions of people in the world. So it's it's like it just totally makes sense that people just do these crazy things in that. How did I get onto that? Where's my thought topic? But yeah, it just makes so much sense that people just do crazy things, and it's just not healthy. But it makes sense. Where was I? I was gonna, but I totally understand that and get that, but it's not. I was talking about structure. And the other problem is the incentive. Oh yeah, that's right. And so it sends all these wrong messages in that, like, oh, do more and more and more and more crazy things because that's all that's going to get you views in that. And so it's like, yeah, that's right. So I was reading an article. I was actually sitting on bed when I thought about it. And I'm like, this is so broken because we've got a structure where it's sort of like the free market and that, where kids sort of have nothing to lose, and it's sort of like, hey, just do whatever you want and see how it goes. And all these kids are like, oh, okay, I'll try that. And they all sort of just participate in this market of TikTok or YouTube Shorts or whatever, or Instagram, and they're sort of, well, mainly more like TikTok. And they're sort of just like, okay, well, I'm just going to go the absolute craziest, because they've sort of just got such a little to lose. It's like, well, if it goes badly, well, my life's already pretty screwed, so it doesn't really matter. And if it goes well, then I could get really famous or whatnot. So they'll just do crazier and crazier and crazier things, and that's not good. But it's like that's exactly what you get when you got a society that there's just all these people that just feel so unvalued, and they're not valued by most people. So it's like really not good. It's really not good. It's really, really not good. So yeah, it's just terrible. Then what? But then I was thinking bad lessons learned when I was did my my Battlelands, and I was doing so well in November and December. It's like, oh, they were such great months in that, and it's like, oh, I must have been doing something so right at that. But then anyway, in 2019, it just petered off, and my growth of Battlelands just died out, and I was just getting like none. And then I sort of just felt really bad about. I thought for ages that YouTube had done something to my channel. Well, yeah, like because it was getting heaps, and then it sort of got a whole heap less on like videos that were identically titled in that, and sort of it didn't. Yeah, but I think what actually happened, or what was the main factor, I think, yeah, because there's other people at that time that still, because in January 2019, people were still working lots of views like Zanzard and that, so it did just seem like, because I took a break. Yeah, I took a break. I took like a month break potentially. Or I took like a break, and then it like got a lot worse than that, like in terms of, but the reality was I didn't do anything wrong. Like it was just there was less bad. Like a few months forward, I was getting hardly any battle views. I could be like, oh, I've ruined it, I've messed it all up. But I looked at the Google interest chart and saw how it just dropped off, and it's sort of like it sort of felt like, well, I failed, I must have done everything wrong, and I've just done useless, and I must have doing the wrong content. And it's so easy to take that message, but with Badlands it became so blatantly clear, because you look at the trends and look what happened to Zanzar's channel, which basically his growth identically followed nearly the growth of Battlelands. So he got real popular and then just died with it. And he would have been like, what did I do wrong? What was it? It's like, no, it wasn't his fault at all. Zanzar did nothing wrong in terms of that. It was just, and it's like, but you learn all these messages and you don't realize that actually, no, it was not at all, Zanzar was not at all at fault that his channel just died. It's literally just was mirrored the growth pattern that it mirrored the interest in Battlelands. So like when he got heaps of viewers, it was when Battlelands was at the top, and when he just got like almost no viewers, it's when Battlelands wasn't popular anymore. But it's so hard to realize that, because often you think, well, I've just failed to just lose, and and that's what happened sort of after the November, December, which then I sort of later realized actually they were the top 2 peak months of Battlelands, and that's why it went so well. But it's like, oh, this thing's going so great, but then it wasn't my fault. I didn't screw up. It just Battlelands dropped off without an interest, and then that wasn't my fault. I couldn't change that. That just happened. And then the then drop in viewers was not. I couldn't stop that. So that was then. It was good to realize that it wasn't my fault that I then started like just didn't get many more views on the Battlelands ones. But it sort of just shows how sort of it's so dependent. YouTube is so dependent. Like if your game that you're covering dies, your channel dies. And so it's so dependent on these different factors, which is sort of, that's why I tried to diversify and cover heaps of content, which actually it worked to a reasonable extent. I mean, obviously I wish I'd found an even more popular game. I didn't, but given what I had, I think I did pretty well doing Heyday and Battlelands. They were 2 good games to cover in terms of midi-core games that I was like, could be one of the top at in both of them, but also they weren't so popular like Fortnite or Minecraft that you just, only the top of the top really got the huge amounts of views. So I think those 2 games were sort of a good medium where they had enough interest that they helped grow my channel, but weren't too big that they then attracted all these other people that just swooped in and just claimed it. I mean, I felt like, yeah, Game on Tom sort of did that with Battlelands and that, but there was still, his content was quite different. It was mainly giveaway stuff, so I think it was very different audience. The amount of people that commented on, I looked at the comment section of his videos, very few people that overlapped with, for example, Commands or Zanzards or my audiences, so it was sort of not really, I didn't think it affected us too much. But yeah, although it will have affected it, we would have got less views as a result, but I mean, and I'm not saying, I'm not saying he couldn't do that. He was entirely fine for Game on Tom to do that. I wish that all of us other YouTubers had the same giveaway options that, like, because it was like, like he did a video where he covered new stuff that none of us were able to cover. So anyway, but it's sort of just like the Battlelands comes, Battlelands goes, and it, sort of your channel comes and goes with it, which is not your fault, but it's so easy to think it is. But I realized, no, that Battlelands thing was not my fault. Some of these challenges, people, they deaths and injuries indeed. Can you check Discord? I just sent you a message that was too long for YouTube live chat. Yeah, I can actually. I'll just, but yeah, so but those months were good months in that of my channel. I don't know how I got on to talking about them. Yeah, that was the best month, I reckon. The best year was 2018. Whew, this went way longer than I thought it would, but that's okay. I've seen someone whose video got copyright striked because they said they used a non-copyright sound song and someone made a remix where they added 1 beat. Copyright the YouTuber even though he was using the original NCS song, and appealed, for which some dumb reason asks the person who strikes the video if they want to release the strike. Yeah, that's exactly what happened to the Fat Rat, which was so dumb. Well, not exactly, like it probably was 2 beats, it was the Ramjets or whatever. Another example of a YouTube, and it's still just terrible. Yeah. I think I basically, that's what I said like an hour ago. I said what I was going to say. Yeah. I've sort of, there's been great things about doing YouTube, there's been negative things about doing YouTube. Yeah, but it was, yeah, it's sort of, if I found a new game that I enjoyed, it's sort of really tricky though, it's just hard to just find a new game that you really enjoy. It just doesn't happen, because, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good games out there, but in terms of new games that enjoy that also have capacity for growth, which then are generally new games, but then it's sort of hard to find new games. It's not really, it's not easy. It's not easy to find new games just like that. And I mean, I've covered heaps of new games, and most of them didn't end up working out. Let's have a look at this list. The ultimate example of judge a game by its cover. Ether. That's a fun little, there we go. It's kind of cool. This is a good spot to find new games. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see what, I haven't decided yet what I'll end up doing. The list is in reverse alphabetical order. Bad and good. That list, this list. No. Oh no, actually it is. Oh no, but there was that exception. D. Oh, is it based on the surname? I don't know. Yeah, I never noticed. That's EC. Oh wow. That's, oh, so it's not just based on date. No, that's funny. Good spotting. IO. So yeah, I think that will wrap it up. I'm unsure what to do with, yeah, I enjoyed doing those old videos and that, and it would be cool to sort of do them again, but I could do them on Rumble. Maybe I'll do them on Rumble. We'll see. And I still don't even, yeah, with Rumble. Yeah, there's the channel and the overview channel thing. This is hard to, yeah, no, it should switch. Yeah, yeah, I'll see. I'll see. I will see. I think I will do a video, yeah, a video on how to upload video to Rumble, and yeah, I could just like do a video on each of the different settings. That would actually work. Could try that. But yeah, so that's a good thing to leave me with. Plot twist: the stream was for me to realize things, but you're welcome to have enjoyed it as well. So yeah, I think that actually will wrap it up. I don't think there's any. I'm sure that I'll probably just, like, if I talk like this for a bit and then suddenly, oh, let's talk about this as well. Have they even got playlists on Rumble? I don't think they have. But yeah, Rumble's suing Google over hiding their, or prioritizing YouTube ones. Yeah, prioritizing YouTube ones. But anyway, we'll see how that case turns out. Don't understand how video on Rumble can have more. Yeah, I think that's a glitch or some problem with it. Yeah. I'll snapshot this now, and then I think that will do it. That will do it. I'm glad I did this stream. I am glad I did this stream. So yeah, it's crazy seeing like enthusiastic 29 minutes. The thing is, I'm not enthusiastic anymore. I don't know. I'm sort of far more like critical or negative or whatnot. That doesn't last well on the not getting banned and that, but yeah. And then we'll edit here. Yeah, the real question. Do you want, well, there's a lot of real questions, but do you want people, yeah, the concurrent views, that's good. Do you want people with autism to be themselves? Which includes expressing themselves via words which you may disagree with? Yes or no? Do people with autism that have opinions that differ with you deserve to be on Twitter or no? Do people that have autism that have opinions deserve to be on YouTube? That the opinions that you disagree with deserve to be on YouTube? Yes or no? And then it's like, yeah, and then it's just like, well, then it just applies to non-autistic people. But then if you're claiming, if you're of the claim that, oh, no, we definitely want people with autism to be able to express themselves, it's like, well, then expression includes them actually saying their views. Like, that is expression. Like, I believe this. That is expression. Should people with autism be allowed to say what they believe? Yes or no? And then, well, and people are like, yeah, of course. And that it's like, do you actually believe that? So you'd think that if people on autism get banned on Twitter for expressing what they believe, that you think that's wrong? And it's like, oh, well, maybe not. It's like, well, yeah, make up your mind. Just be honest. Be consistent with actually what you believe. If you don't believe that, fine, but don't pretend that it's like, oh, yeah, no, they're allowed to express themselves in that. Oh, but actually, if they say something I disagree with on Twitter and that, oh, no, definitely banned. It's like, no, be consistent. Be honest in that. If you don't want people with autism to be able to express themselves, which includes saying things that they believe, just have that, just say that opinion, but don't pretend that you like, oh, no, they should be allowed to, but actually, no, I want them banned. Like, no, be honest about that, really, honestly. I prefer it that you're honest about that. Okay, so, and for the record, I think that, no, they should not be banned. They should be allowed to express themselves. Yes. Freedom of expression in that. And then the thing is, what people say online is subject to the law anyway. So there's laws about things that you can and can't do by the law in that. So then Twitter doesn't need to take the role. I mean, you might believe that Twitter should take the role in that. I don't believe that Twitter should take the role and just say, you know what, I disagree with that person's opinion. Banned. I think that no, there's literally, like, you can't threaten to kill someone. You're not allowed to do that. So it's like Twitter, like, that's against the law anyway. So the person can't say that anyway. That's against the law. So the law can do that. Yeah. Anyway, like, it's like, because otherwise, well, then we disagree with them on this opinion, and we think that that's an opinion that's not good, and what it's like, no. The law's got that. Anyway. Where are we at? Where's the chat? Oh, why's the chat gone? Oh, your day is just starting. Boom. There we go. We'll see you later. Thank you for being part of the stream, Lynn. And I go Rio, and the Gaming Snowman, Call Me V, Express Depresso, Prince Tello, Dorama, Blushy, Jack B, Lock.2, Coffee Gamer 360, Killer, Larat, Daniel Bishop, Zivy, Edit EDTS, Manek, Anakin, Lock.2 earlier, and thank you for moderating, Lynn and Lock.2. Mr. Hunter, thank you guys for being part of it. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I mean, I don't know. It was sort of more for me. But if you guys enjoyed it, that's great as well. Thank you guys for being part of it. Have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you all next time, tomorrow actually, for a Battleland stream. See you all later. Good night, and God bless.